So you guys clicked this video. You probably were excited. You saw the title. You saw Kenny Beecham, a.k.a. King of the Fourth Quarter, is back on this episode. First time he's been on the show in about a year.
Just wait.
You're going to get that. But first, we have a very special announcement. You see, I'm wearing a jersey. He's wearing a jersey. He's wearing some other shit. I don't know what to call that. I'm going to cue a trailer for you. Cue the trailer for House Call. Hello?
Yo, fuck the Cowboys.
What the hell is a house call?
We got a football show.
Because we have nothing else to talk about.
Multi-dimensional yappers.
That's what I'm saying. We got to make some money. My rent is due. We got to talk.
So as you guys see, we have a new show. We are here. First week, and now it actually came out yesterday, so you guys might have already seen it. If you're a real avid fan, you've been paying attention to our pages. We're here to launch House Call, basically the NFL version of TD3. Nothing's going to change on the basketball end. We're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do it again on the NFL side. Yeah, man, how y'all feeling?
Man, this is what the streets have been waiting for. I'm ready to feed the streets.
People have been asking us for like 3 years to do NFL content.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah, and anytime anybody ever asks about like what we do or like the podcast, I'd like, oh yeah, we talk about the NBA, and they're like, you guys do football? you guys just do the NBA? Now I got some stuff for you. I got an answer to that question. I love it.
Yeah, you're a better man than me. Whenever someone asks me what I do, I just tell them I'm a referee straight up. And
He's
just leave it
lying.
at that, and it's just awkward, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we talk about football. Now
Yeah.
I talk about football.
Facts. And you guys we talked about in the past about like me and Donovan are big NFL fans. Donovan is a massive Eagles fan. I'm a Chargers fan. Mo is not currently a big NFL fan. So TBD on what his fan base will be. But what we're doing with this show is it's obviously going to be a little bit less knowledgeable than basketball. We've been covering basketball for years, paying attention at the maximum level, covering it every day, making content. So we're on the more casual side for now. But, the whole point of the show, y'all going to go with us. We know bat football. Mo is getting into football with us. So the whole concept of the show will be us getting better as we go. But, we're still fans, but getting better and better.
And I'm
Mo.
basically damn near learning from scratch.
Exactly.
I've been a fan of football before, or since I was like maybe 15, 16 years old. Perfect timing because that was around Cam Newton's MVP season. And that's what carried my football spirit. Now, of course, you see this jersey, you see this hat. Oh my God, he's a No, I'm not. Just because I'm from Atlanta don't mean that I'm a Falcons fan. Don't associate me with any team at all. I am a free agent, and me and my alliance will happen as time goes on, probably toward the end of the year. But for now, I'm just observing, and I am the super casual. You think he's casual? No, man. I am the real one here.
Yeah, me and Donovan are like educated fans, but we still have a little bit to go to get back on the level of being like to the place we're at in the basketball world.
To cover a sport, like there's still some ways to go, but like we got even now, like even us knowing as much as we did about the NBA, we still have gotten better covering the NBA in the years that we've been doing the show. It's going to be the same thing with the football show as well. We're going to get better. We're going to, like you guys keep saying, you guys are going to grow with us. This is a very living, breathing ecosystem, a living, breathing show. So we're super excited for you guys to come along with us. This is great.
Yeah. But obviously, you guys don't watch this for us knowing what we're talking about either way. It's going to be the same tomfoolery, the same.
Look at me right now and understand nothing is going to be different except we're just talking about football instead of basketball.
First episode, new landscape, new segments. Bro, we're going to do some type of segment where we have to predict games and someone's going to wear the helmet and get beat over the head with it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, as we say, like, we're learning. I'm especially learning. I'm going to bring an interesting new fact randomly as each episode goes on, bro. So with us.
Again, very different dynamic from what you get here, but the same tone, the same formats, all the stuff I do to make the show work. We're going to do it over there too. So it'll be familiar, but with a nice fresh breath air. Well, fresh of breath air. That was dumb as fuck.
CTE already.
I know. Yeah. With the nice breath of fresh air. You guys might like it more because we're a little more casual there, so it won't be quite as argumentative. I don't know. We'll see.
Now we're gonna argue.
I know.
Exactly. We're gonna argue. We're gonna hate. We're gonna glaze sometimes. It is what it is.
Yep.
Quick question to you guys: which league has the better fan base, more knowledgeable, and all that?
Okay, so the average NFL fan is probably a little bit more in tune, but there's still like there's bigger NFL fan bases, at least online. Like it's a bigger sport in America, so there's more casuals. Like quarterback dialogue is ridiculously bad. It's truly atrocious. But I think the coverage on TV is a lot better for the NFL. So maybe the average fan has a little bit more knowledge.
100%. Like you can play people might be able to like name some concept just because they play Madden for a long time or like a lot more players. You are not calling plays in 2K, right? Like you don't understand actions if you're just an avid 2K player. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you're an avid 2K player, you probably know less about basketball than if you're just watching the games as opposed to playing Madden and watching the NFL. So yeah, NFL fans they're fun.
Yeah, okay. So I think the average entry level discourse is probably a little more educated, but like talking about like the upper level, like breaking down what makes a quarterback different from somebody else is atrocious dialogue.
Wow. All right, NBA fans, you are dumb.
But yeah, man. So introducing you guys to House Call. It's going to be pinned in the top comment, obviously, top of the description. It'll be all over our socials. You'll see it nonstop, hopefully. So check it out. Subscribe. Episode 1 is already out. We graded every single NFL team's offseason. And with that being said, let's get you guys on to Kenny Beecham, a.k.a. King of the Fourth Quarter, with us to grade every single NBA free agency signing from this season.
The cranium is crazy. Oh, my God.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice.
Well, now it's time for the part everyone's here for, the part you guys seen the title. Got our special guest here in person for the first time in the studio.
Thank you for having me
in Chicago. How you feeling, man?
Feeling great, man. To be the first guest on House Call, it's so cool. I mean, we're all football, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't really play the part. Those are the teams y'all support?
No, I'm an Eagles fan.
Okay.
Yes, I'm an Eagles fan. I haven't bought a jersey in forever because I feel like across sports, the moment I get a jersey, the guy either gets traded or something crazy happens. Yeah. So I'm done.
So you got to get the jersey of the person you hate the most.
I'm only getting throwbacks at this point.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm only getting throwbacks,
and I'm sure you're Atlanta.
No. You would think so. Right now I'm a free agent.
Okay.
My fandom is earned. It isn't given.
He's a Cam Newton fan.
Okay. I'm a Cam Newton fan at first. Okay. You know, he's like my first favorite athlete of all time. But for the first year of the NFL season, as I'm like learning football and also like just studying the history of teams, where they're projected to go, I'm just a free agent right now. And I'll spectate.
Yeah, the whole theme of the show is him learning with us because right now he doesn't know jack shit about football. Yeah. So he's gonna
jack
learn
shit
with
is
the
far, but yeah, jack
shit is crazy. Isn't like anywhere close to an expert. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna learn with the audience and then pick his team at the end. We're gonna do a little hat with free agency.
That's dope. Good. And then Bears.
No, I'm a Chargers fan.
Okay. I was praying that you weren't a Cowboys fan.
No.
Wait, what's wrong with Cowboys?
Oh, well, he's a Lakers fan too, so I didn't know if he was just, and then it's gonna be Yankees.
Yeah. Okay, you see, I always wear different teams just for fashion. So like I wore an Eagles hat like a couple weeks ago, and comments were, of course he's an Eagles fan and a Lakers fan. I'm like, y'all get tired of doing this? I have a new team on every other week, and y'all still make the same assumption. Okay. But football is a conversation for another day. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you coming on the week of our announcement. Today we're here to talk about the NBA.
Yes. Here
to talk about the regular schedule. People were asking us why we didn't stream on Tuesday because we have this special episode with you here. We're going to grade every single free agency signing / trade / extension / coaching firing / GM firing for some teams. Go through the course of the league, everything that's happened this week, and grade it for every team. Where do you want to start?
Colin Gillespie, obviously.
Naturally. I guess we can start with the move that has the most implications. Let's talk about the Miles Turner trade and subsequent Damian Lillard firing from his job out of nowhere.
This is depressing, man.
You got to pick up a podcast, Mike. It's time.
Facts. It's about that time. I heard Paul George has an opening. I heard they're hiring. So we'll start with the Miles Turner aspect of it all. What are you grading the signing, taking away the Damian Lillard of it all?
Got to be like, honestly, I don't hate it that much. Like I think, especially given the fact that that Giannis is in the situation where everybody all for like the entirety of the summer is like, he's going to leave. He's going to request a trade. You have to do something. You guys have nothing. The fact that you were able to get somebody in there of Miles Turner caliber, like, fine, right? So I think in terms of their effort, it's a B. I think overall, if getting Miles Turner and then waiving Dame, if that comes out in like a year with like the big piece and like that was the initial point of Giannis being like, yeah, I don't trust this front office anymore. Now I'm going to leave. Then ultimately it's an F. But I think like going into next season, it's probably like a B.
Damn.
Sorry, I've been practicing my football swing. Getting a little strong now. You're wrong. It's very much a D in my mind.
Oh.
It's a very frantic move. Miles Turner is obviously a good player, but I don't think he is the type of player to convince someone like Giannis to stay. like I understand the thought process of waiving Damian Lillard every single year is precious when you have an all-time great like Giannis on your team. But this is not the move to go ahead and make in order to try to impress someone like Giannis. It's a D. Super short-sighted.
I think that in a vacuum it's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
Upgrading Brook Lopez to Miles Turner, I think 99% of GMs across basketball, the only other 1% is probably Chicago. They're all going to say yes to that.
Yeah.
The problem is the stretching and waiving of Damian Lillard.
Exactly.
Because it like you said, it is short-sighted in the sense that having a bad contract on your team in most cases is movable, right? Zach LaVine was a bad contract for the Chicago Bulls. They were able to trade him away. You don't have to worry about that. The fact that Damian Lillard is going to be on their salary books for 5 years and you can't do anything about it.
Oh, I thought it was 4.
It's 5.
5 years.
Jeez.
And so this Miles Turner contract is 4-year, $107 million. That's fine value. But I think the way they're justifying this in their head is by stretching Dame for those 5 years. It's $22 million per year on the books. So they're like, listen, we're paying Miles 25. Put the 22. It's basically 47 for a second star. That's the best we can hope for Giannis to stay and want to be happy. That's fine value. We can get away with that roster building wise. One, Miles Turner's not worth that much if that is a justification. 2, okay, so I guess I'll say this. I'll give it a B. I think they're operating in desperation. DEFCON, is it DEFCON 1 or 5 is the worst one?
I think
DEFCON 1 is the super emergency.
Okay,
that's the word, right?
DEFCON 1 is Giannis leaving. That would be utter worst case scenario, despite everybody wanting him to leave. For the Bucks franchise, for them wanting to make money selling tickets, it would be the worst case scenario. They're going to do whatever they have to make him happy. If they think Miles Turner is the best bet they can make, the best show of competency they can make, I understand the swing, but I do think it's going to be a swing and a whiff. So I'm not going to give it an A because I don't think it's enough. I don't think they'll be good. I don't think it's enough to convince him if that is what he needs to see. I don't think this is going to make him say, yeah, I'm a Buck fan for life, but it's worth the attempt, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the bad part because as soon as it happened, Giannis goes on Twitter and he's like, "What is going on?" Right? And he just starts talking on Twitter, and so it's like, okay, that doesn't feel great, right? Just to see, but I think, like you said, the fact that they're operating out of desperation, at this point, you are going year by year with Giannis until you can get a actual contending team or a legitimate second star, and so for them to re-sign a lot of the guys from last year to go get Miles Turner now in a weak East, you have an opportunity to say, can we win a playoff series if Giannis goes crazy and you don't have to play some wild Pacers team again? Yeah. There is something to where at the end of the season, if the Bucks, again, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if the Bucks do win a playoff series in 7 games, get to the second round and it's strong and scrappy and all that stuff, then you can go back to Giannis and say, well, we tried and now it's more on you than it is us.
And Giannis is clearly looking for any reason to stay. He clearly wants to be loyal. So maybe this convinces him that this is enough, that he knows they're not going to win a championship, but they're showing him they're trying. Maybe that's enough. But I don't think they're a top 4 team in the East after this move.
No. Kyle Kuzma's still the 3rd most important player.
Damn.
That's tough.
Nuts.
Who's the starting shooting guard? Gary Trent?
Gary Trent.
Starting point guard? He who shall not be named?
Yeah.
Is that?
They signed him to a 3-year deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about
that.
They
extended his ass.
It's got to be him because Micic, if that's how you pronounce it, they think he's going to get waived so he can go back overseas. Damn. So it's really just him. And he had a moment in the postseason this year, just one singular moment.
Yeah.
So maybe you can say that's our starting point guard. Him and at the end of the day, you trying to keep Giannis happy.
Yeah.
And if this is how you do it, then sure. But I'm thinking about the basketball because for the now, this team's not going to be good enough. And then it's just hard to believe that they're going to do anything over the next year or so to make the team good enough.
It's in general, it's going to be a cooked product regardless. We can all assume what the ending is going to be to this. But in my mind, it's just about how do you want to go out. And I think going out with having $22 million being owed to Damian Lillard in the 2030s is insane.
The good side is if Giannis does request a trade and it doesn't work, that $22 million doesn't fucking matter because they're going to be tanking for 4 years.
Yeah.
So on that end, I don't think the long-term outcome is maybe as detrimental, assuming the long-term bad outcome is Giannis leaving. But this is their only all-in move now because you can't do much else with that lingering.
Yeah, I always feel like there's something to be done. Never did I think that waiving Damian Lillard was an option. I don't know what y'all reaction was, but when we saw that Miles Turner got signed to $100 million, we were on our set right before we started shooting. And we were like, how the hell did they come up with $100 million for Miles Turner? And then 3 minutes later, it was like,
Oh.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's how. Oh. It like so I saw it and I was like, damn, like that's crazy just because you saw like the business of the NBA come into it where it's like, yes, you fought back from blood clots, right? You overcame a very rough season last year. You tore your Achilles, and then now you're just gone. Dame is in his mid-30s, a smaller guard. He's coming off an Achilles. Even there's I don't know how great of an argument it is, but there is an argument that having Dame have to fight back in real time from his Achilles injury might have done a little bit more like hamstringing the team because you know he's so great that you have to integrate him into everything that you're doing, but he might not just be at that level anymore. And so if you want to say, hey, you just have to take that bet because Giannis is there, fine. But I feel like, especially at this point in his career, it might be fair to bet against him rather than, we're going to keep you on the team and waste whatever the next year is.
Did y'all believe Giannis when he was reported through Chris Haynes that he was upset or didn't know about the Damian Lillard thing when he did the whole Drake?
No. Not for a second. Love me some Giannis, but this is the third time he's done this now with Drew, with Chris, and now with Dame. I don't believe it for a second.
I feel like happy for someone like Dame, obviously, because I think this is probably for his career the best possible outcome. Things were probably never going to work or get any better over there in Milwaukee. He gets free money for doing absolutely nothing. He gets to choose also where he wants to spend probably like the last of the peak of his career. Someone like him deserves something like this because I was sitting here thinking about it like before we started shooting. I'm like, damn, bro, like Dame really had like the worst 3 years that any player could have. Bro got divorced. He got blood clots. And then on top of that too is tore his Achilles. Yeah. Now he got waived. Tough, but still.
You got to sprinkle in the divorce.
That's all right.
Like blood clots too, bro. It's like,
you got to lead with that.
It's blood clots too, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I hope he goes to the Trailblazers. I hope they let him rehab the facilities. He comes back, mentors the young guards. Just let him retire a legend there.
Do you think the Trailblazers like weren't open like even in the slightest to making a Dame for Drew just 1-to-1 swap?
I mean, not they don't have to clearly if they're gonna buy him out. Never got there.
That's a good question because that was one of the things that I thought about immediately after he was waived. Like even though he is on an Achilles tear and probably won't play the entirety of next season, would there be a team willing to trade for his contract because the next year is a player option and just sit him, you rehab him here, and we are the, I don't know, Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. And it's like we're going to have Dame in 2026, 2027, but obviously you're basically mortgaging the entirety of this year waiting for Dame for next year.
So. The only teams I can see doing that would be extremely desperate teams, and then trading for somebody who's coming off an Achilles is a wild risk. Mm-hmm. And so I do think that for like the Heat might be the only team that it makes sense because Pat Riley has that much cachet. If you trade for a guy who's coming off an Achilles injury and it doesn't work, you're fired. you're fired. Like, what do you mean you gave up assets knowing that he just ruptured his Achilles a couple months ago? What are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? So yeah, I don't know if the market was all the way there, or even if people like the idea, if the job security aspect probably wasn't there.
Yeah, there's no other team I could think of. It's like, do we hate Bradley Beal so much that we would trade him away for a guy that won't play next season?
That's crazy.
Maybe if you had, what's their pick situation next year? Is it protected at all, or is it a swap?
Suns?
Yeah, the Suns.
Oh, I have no idea.
I can't remember what because there's so many different variables. If they had their own pick, that's a good way to tank. Spend $50 million on a guy that can't play.
Yeah.
But considering you're trying to convince Devin Booker every single day that he should stay there, they probably wouldn't do it. But if they were smart and wanted to tank, that wouldn't be a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Oh. There
the hell was that?
That was the field goal post.
Yeah.
It was the flag.
I think Cody Parkey hit the uprights again.
Facts. All right, let's move on to the next team. Let's go to the second biggest storyline. Let's just get it out of the way. With the Los Angeles Lakers signing DeAndre Ayton and signing Jake LaRavia. We can talk about it as a package deal, or we can talk about it individually, whatever y'all want. What's the grade for Ayton focus, but you can sprinkle in LaRavia?
I guess for the Ayton signing itself, I'm giving it an A.
Ooh.
I think
the biggest Ayton hater I know.
You got him for.
Oh, you haven't heard me talk yet.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna get jumped.
You got him for $16 million over 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. Like the value there is just fine. And then going into next season, having the fact that you tried to trade for Mark Williams, didn't get it done. You know that you don't have a center, and going from Jackson Hayes, who was unplayable, to DeAndre Ayton, and again for only $8 million a year. I like the value. It's the best that you can do. And like people thought that he was gonna get like 14.
Yeah. He probably could have from the Pacers.
That's what I'm saying. That's fine. Do I like him as a player? No, but did you make the best move possible? Yes. Yeah. I'm going A.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I was joking. I think DeAndre Ayton is not the type of center that I think Luka or JJ would love. But for $8 million a year, Clint Capella got 10. He's better than Clint Capella right now.
Yeah, that's a low bar.
You know what I'm saying? And he's way better than Jackson Hayes, which is what the alternative was. So that's a win ultimately. I don't subscribe to the portion of Lakers fandom that's like, now we got our guy, and it's our time to win, because I don't think he's going to impact it that much.
That just means you haven't heard my argument yet.
But it is.
Okay. I feel good about giving them a B. I'm not in love with DeAndre Ayton as a player, but in general, like, he is the type of guy he has the skill set and ability to morph into whatever it is whatever the scheme is for 48 minutes. Out of the 48 minutes, he may play that way for like 4 or 5. But regardless of the fact, it's better than whatever JJ was rolling out earlier or towards the end of the season, running like no center, 5 out during the final games of the Minnesota Timberwolves series. So I think they maximize on what they could do. Is he the guy? I don't know, but he's a guy, which is better than nothing.
He's not the guy. He's not the guy. But like, you just can't have your head coach hate your starting center. Now, we might get to that point though. It might happen.
I think we surely will get to that.
Exactly. So there's the aspect of it. But please,
you ready to hear?
I need the coat.
You ready to hear a DeAndre Ayton apologist get shit off?
I need the coat.
I mean, you've been begging for it your whole life, bro.
Yeah, I've been like a DeAndre Ayton apologist for years. I've been like, I promise he's good. He just needs the right opportunity. That didn't mean I wanted the opportunity to be on my team necessarily. But I have always maintained that, like, I like him as a player. I just wish he wasn't so lazy so many times and like didn't get his own way. But over the past couple of years, I've said he needs the blame. He needs to be criticized for coasting after he got paid. But I do think the Portland scenario was terrible for him. He went from a coach in Monty Williams who hated him, probably because of things he did. It's probably deserved. But the coach clearly hated him. He went to Portland. The first year in Portland, that team was a joke. That team was a fucking disaster. I was thinking that they had the worst coach in the NBA for the first year there. And last year, they got it together in large part because they benched him. It was never a good fit for him there. They didn't have the guards to set him up. He is a very guard-reliant type of big. He's not the guy that can... If you let him go out there and try to feast in the post, it's not going to go well. But if he can play off of Chris Paul, play off of Devin Booker, he has finishing abilities that I think people say are gone out of like assumption that he doesn't want to do that anymore. But I think he also has been playing with 0 guards that can do an interior pass at a high level. So I do still have faith that he can produce better, closer to what we saw in 2021, 2022. Defensively, I think I have to do a lot of hopium, a lot of hope that he will buy in, that he'll be with a coach like JJ Redick, who is really good at deploying his talent. He'll put him in a more versatile scheme. He'll have him play higher at the level, not just be a traditional drop big with shitty guards in front of him who can't fight over a screen, trying to see Anthony Simons get clocked by defending bigs and he has to defend 2 people. That didn't go well. I think he can be in a team here that fits a little bit better for him on both ends. And the main reason I'm selling myself on this, it's contract year.
Well, doesn't he have a 2-year deal?
He has a player option. He does not want to take that. Okay. He does not want to take that. He has a player option because Rob Pelinka is not good at his job and gives everybody a player option. Because that's how he convinces them to come. Yeah. It's really a 1-year deal where he wants to play well, have Luka feed him lobs, have a good infrastructure that makes him have his PR rise up. Then he tests the market, either gets extended by the Lakers for $25 million a year or whatever, or go somewhere else with cap space next year. That's the goal. I think he'll probably want to get paid really bad. So I do think he'll try harder. I do think playing with LeBron and Luka will help him offensively. I think it will be good. It's not the answer to the future, just because contract situation. I think it will probably get paid by somebody else next year. So I'm not like, we got Luka's big. Yeah. But I do think it makes him like substantially better. And it makes me not hate the fact that they lost Dorian Finney-Smith. Just because they replaced him with Aiden Pusla-Ravia. I don't think that's like a nightmare scenario like it seemed when they lost DFS.
So you're going A? You're going A or B?
Sure, we can go A. I don't have a card, so I didn't think about it. But we can go A.
I'll do it for you.
Do y'all buy into everything I said? Do you think is this copium, or do you think he'll actually be better?
It's definitely copium.
It's definitely copium. There are some interesting things. I think that the one thing that is going to be most interesting is like there's no place to play basketball with more eyes than like the Lakers.
Yeah,
definitely. He just played in Portland where us NBA nerds watched him play and be like, oh, he's kind of shit. You can't do that with the Lakers because half your game's on TV anyway. Yeah. And you're playing with LeBron, you're playing with Luka. And it could go 2 different ways. He can buy into that and really play well, or he can crawl into a ball and cry because everybody's upset with him and then leave to go somewhere else next season.
Yeah.
I just want to see him get to the fucking basket.
Yeah.
Draw a foul, use those big shoulders, do all the stuff that like your high school coach tell you to do if you're 6'2", right? Just get to the foul line, do those things. Because what do you attempt, like 1.4?
He does not. He gets to the line like once every 3 weeks.
It's a 7-footer.
That's every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Donovan, what do you always say?
Get your big ass in the paint. You're 7 feet. Yeah. You're 7 feet tall. Yo, it's very frustrating.
Offensively, I don't worry about it because I feel like an underrated aspect of Ayton's game is his ability to, like you said, like catch lobs and stuff. Well, you mentioned that, but for the most part, that's a very underrated aspect of his game. It didn't get deployed nearly enough, especially in Portland, because he didn't have the surrounding guys to set him up in that way. And that's a key part of Luka's game, and I'm excited to see what he does on that end. But really, what scares me is the defensive end. That's the only reason why I'm like, as of now. But hey, he's a body, and it's better than none.
And it's just scary because they don't have DFS anymore. And Rui's like one of the worst off-ball defenders I've ever seen. Solid on-ball, great cutter. He's been hitting his threes well. Horrible as a team defender. Gives up back cuts nonstop. LeBron's only getting older. Jake LaRavia, shout out him. Not some like lockdown defender. Not what DFS brought as a big wing that can help with the nail. They don't have a ton of infrastructure for him, so he's gonna have a ton of defensive pressure. And everything we're saying really just comes down to like who he is as a person. Like, does he respond to this PR being an all-time low? The fact that his pockets are at brink of failure going to next year, if he does bad again, becomes a minimum guy. Does he respond to this and lock in for at least 1 year, or does what you said happen? There's the most eyes possible in the Lakers. Does he just fold? Like, it really just comes down to who he is as a person.
Yeah, he wanted his goal to get the second contract. I need you to dream bigger.
Dream of a third.
I need you to dream for a third contract. Because like the Lakers, they need a center. It's been something that everybody's talked about. Yeah. It's an A, but yes, it's very scary when like your hopes are in DeAndre Ayton's hands now.
We hate the fact he doesn't get to the rim anymore, and like his rim volume is super low. He's pretty fucking good from the mid-range. Like, as annoying as it is, as much as it doesn't lead to good offense, like, it is a legitimate wrinkle this team didn't have before. He shoots 51% from floater range, 44% on mid-range jumpers. That's not horrible from a big, like, and he's going to get better looks now. All the things that we take as negatives, he does have some skills that we just overlook because his downsides are so fucking horrible. So I'm allowing myself to believe I'll get none of the downsides and all the upsides.
As you should as a Lakers fan.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
It's the offseason, baby. You got to have some hope.
Yeah. Okay. LaRavia, are you moved by that? Do you guys like him?
Zero opinion on Jake LaRavia.
Really? Defensively, I know shit about Jake LaRavia.
Once he ended up in Sacramento, I couldn't tell you a single thing he did. I swear to you.
So I think the reason they got him, he was the first person they signed. JJ Redick really wants to have 5 guys on the court that can attack a closeout. I think he never really wanted to start DFS, and that confused people. I think it's because when you swing the ball to DFS in the corner, he's going to be a deer in headlights. His knees are going to clock together. He's not going to be able to run anywhere. Jake LaRavia is excellent at attacking closeouts, and I think that's the main reason he wants him.
You gotta keep your star players happy.
Yeah.
Him and Austin Reeves are like this, man.
They're friends?
That's the star. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I thought it was him and Luka who were like besties.
No, when he announced that he was talking to the Lakers, he was in the car and he panned over. He was in the car with Austin Reeves.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, man, we're going to have the whitest team of all time. If we keep Dalton Connect, they can roll out a lineup of Luka, Reeves, Connect, LaRavia. If they trade for Walker Kessler, we can get the full Aryan lineup.
That's your bag. That's your
just bring
bag.
back Alex Lynn. He's right there.
Oh, my God. Kill me.
The thing with Jake LaRavia that scares me for real is knowing how often, obviously, like Luka has his defensive lapses, and then Austin Reeves too. He's not the best defender, damn near in the same conversations as Luka, probably not that bad. I just don't feel confident about their frontline defense at all. I'm confident like JJ Redick is going to do his best to maximize when it comes to the game plan, but the actual execution, no matter how much buy-in it is, at the end of the day, you need some type of like grit there, and that's just not there for,
what's crazy?
The Lakers.
I'm praying they get Andrew Wiggins. I'm praying they get the second lowest motor athletic player in the league behind DeAndre Ayton to pair with the first they got. I'm praying we can fix these 2 low motor former number 1 overall picks. That's my ceiling play in my mind.
It's such a weird situation to be in, like having Luka and then having to buy low on everybody else. Like this should be the start of a new era, a new day, right? Where like God. You feel decent, but like the fact that you are continuing to rebuild or I guess like retool, and you still, I think at this point, like I do think that LeBron's probably going to be there, that's also just like a weird, situation that's also happening. So it just
that's another thing.
It's a lot of uneasiness.
Because you said that, I'm praying LeBron requests a trade and goes to the Cavs. I'm praying we get Jared Allen, that he helps us on his way out, sends a lifeline, because there is so little passing getting high end talent. I'm praying he forces his way home and the Cavs have to do a bad deal and give us either Jared Allen or Garland.
This is why I hate Lakers. They have LeBron James too. Yeah. They have LeBron on their team. And are hoping that LeBron requests a trade. This is entitlement at its finest.
I got good years. I'm if he's happy with the outcome and he's happy with this era being done, I'm happy with it being done. I'll live.
You see him golfing with the welcome home hat?
Yeah, I did.
Might be happening.
Listen, man, Jared Allen.
The Cavs would be nuts to do any of those trades, by the way.
Yeah,
just it would be panicky.
If the second apron wasn't a thing, I would somewhat understand it. But because they have to dump Max Strus and then do, what would it take? DeAndre Hunter, Jared Allen, and like one more small contract?
It's just too much.
That's a lot of players.
It's too much. When you said Wiggins, it made me think about like the most number one overall picks we've seen on a single roster.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't stop thinking about it.
I would love it. And so there was a report today that the Heat are trying to get everything the Lakers fucking have for him.
Yeah.
But if it was like realistically like Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and what would be the third contract if they don't do Rui? Jared Vanderbilt, and then get him a pick and connect, and we keep Rui out of that. That's probably good for both sides.
You're gonna have a roster of 7 people at that point, though.
Hey, Bronny's coming in to be the 8th man.
Oh, right.
They still have the biannual exception. They get one more player for $5 million.
I mean, listen, Bronny's headline in the first day of summer league, him versus Cooper Flag, man, that's real.
And there's reports that they might do a 7-team deal.
Why did they set him up like that, man? No, man, I'm asking you as a father, please stop.
We're going to take a quick break from the show to tell you guys about our presenting sponsor for this episode, us. House Call is a sponsor of this episode. Our new second podcast, our NFL show. You guys probably saw it at the top of this episode. We introduced it to you guys. I've been teasing it for weeks. We're here, man. A new era, a new chapter of TD3 content with a new sport. We're talking about the NFL. We're getting our takes off. Probably being casuals to begin with. Not going to lie. Our NBA, our basketball knowledge is a lot better than our football knowledge. But y'all can come grow with us as the content grows. We'll get smarter. We'll get more knowledgeable. Everything will be great. We'll have the same format you know and love on the basketball show. The same 3 of us. The same humor. The same topics. Same everything. All the ridiculous hijinks you see on the show. You'll see it on the football show. Top link in the description. Pinned comment. You can go check it out. Subscribe today. Episode 1 will already be out by the time you guys are watching this. We'll be grading every single NFL team's offseason. Should be a good one. Tap in. Speaking of the 17 deal, let's move over to the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets obviously traded for Kevin Durant, which we've all talked about. We don't necessarily got to grade that. But they proceeded to re-sign Steven Adams and extend Fred VanVleet, which I think are solid deals to keep the band together. Then they got Dorian Finney-Smith on a 4-year deal for the mid-level exception. 4 years, $14 million per year. Snatched him away from the Lakers. What are y'all grading that? General retooling of the roster, but mostly DFS.
Obviously, they double down, triple down, quadruple down on what they love and what they're trying to be about. Long, rangy, lengthy defenders all have capabilities offensively when it comes to shooting the 3 ball. I love it. It's an A.
Yeah.
Nothing to hate about it at all.
No notes. I mean, DFS now is what? The 7th most important player on this team?
Maybe.
Crazy.
Like, that's pretty dope to just have that in the back pocket if you need to have it. So, give it an A.
What do you think about Clint Capella? About them getting a third big? I guess the general takeaway from people was that signals they're going to do a lot of double big.
Sure.
Do you guys want? I felt like I saw the perfect amount of it last year. I was always like, I questioned it as everybody did because like it sounds crazy to play Steve Adams and Sengun, and when it worked, I was like, okay, you proved to me this is an awesome changeup. Yeah. Does this make you think they're going to do this as like not the main thing, obviously, but like is that going to be half of Sengun's minutes?
I read it. I forget who wrote the article, kind of pitching it as like a platoon backup center thing, where like some games it's Steven Adams, who's obviously had his injury history, and some games it's Clint Capella, who's also had his injury history. So it's more just an enforcement that no matter what, we'll have an opportunity to do that double big. Will it work? I mean, you have Kevin Durant on your team now. So you don't really need to grab half of your offensive misses anymore because Kevin Durant's going to make so many shots.
And DFS in the corner helps a lot too.
Yeah.
I'm going there. I think like even aside from the KD from the KD trade, the Rockets to me had the best offseason they've won. Free agency. I think that they've done a fantastic job, and like them signing Clint Capella, that was greedy.
It was greedy.
It was very.
That's
very
the only
greedy.
level of greed I'm standing for. I love it. They're standing 10 toes down on their strengths and they're getting even stronger. I love it.
Yeah, and so I am happy about it just because I think for them they clearly are like Mo said, doubling down on everything and making sure that everybody on their team is extremely tall or extremely long, and you have length absolutely everywhere. And so to have as many options as possible, I'm rocking with it. So I'm going A.
Yeah, they're making sure every single team in the league.
I gotta take this off. This is it's killing me. I felt so insulated. Like when you asked me the question, it took me a second. It legit took a minute to like process in between the helmet. I had no idea what you said.
NFL players be going through hell, bro.
CTE without the hit. A
multitude of CTE. That's crazy.
Podcast-induced CTE. You need help.
I was like, where's the sound coming from? It's ridiculous.
Figure start.
Oh my gosh, man.
Do you guys care about the 4th year on the DFS deal? Because that's obviously why he left the Lakers for the most part, I think, is, he's getting old. I think he's 32 right now. They wanted to commit 2 years to him because he's coming off an ankle injury too that requires surgery. Don't know how that's going to look after, but you can only endure so many more losses of athleticism if it is that serious. Does a 4th year scare you at all? Like that, that's kind of how they got him, is by giving him more insurance.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think he probably won't be good in 4 years realistically, but I don't think you should care too much considering what your window is right now with Kevin.
Yeah.
If that was the sweetener to bring him onto the team, so be it. We'll deal with it once we get there.
Yeah, exactly. And they have like so many picks to go ahead and offload that contract once that time comes, if it's genuinely like that bad, if he's that bad of a player.
Yeah, and even without KD, if you were still just rolling with the guys that you have, then by the time like Amen is at his prime age, by the time Tari and Jabari are there, even if it is like 1 year of a bad contract, you would be able to get off of that in the middle of the season. It wouldn't be a complete hindrance. So it's whatever.
Do we all think the Rockets are going to be like true contenders next year? Like,
yes,
can win the finals?
I do.
I think so.
Okay, then let's do a little game out of this. I'm going to name an NBA team. One's the Rockets, one's somebody else. You tell me who's better next year. So obviously we think the Thunder will be better. I don't got to do that one. Actually, yeah. Can the Rockets be better than the Thunder?
Yes,
they can be better than the Thunder.
I would bet on the Thunder though.
Yeah, that's an easy assumption, but they're within striking distance. Mm-hmm. Now, Cleveland Cavaliers, if we go to the other conference.
Yes, they will be. I think winning 64 games is tough.
Yeah.
And so I do think and even for the Thunder, they're really weird because they had a lot of poor injury luck, but they still got to 68 wins. And so I do think that while you can say that the wins are going to come down, the injury's going to be better, so whatever. But I think the Cavs are taking a step down, and the Rockets won 50 games last year. And just added KD.
With the way the Rockets play, there's a lot less volatility. They have so many big bruising guys that's just missing from the Cavs. So I got the Rockets.
Yeah. I kind of like the unknown of the Rockets, so I'll go with them. We should see the Cavs just fail 2 years in a row with this core, even though I think they're probably the best team out east. If they matched up against Houston in a 7-game series, I would go Houston.
Every year, playoffs come around and tell myself, Garland's going to be healthy. Yeah. Garland's going to be healthy. I promise. Just wait. I've lost every time.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the reloaded Nuggets? Do you feel like the Nuggets with depth is back to being on the top?
That's tough.
I might go Nuggets.
Their depth is insane now.
It's not even insane. It's just normal.
It feels insane because Jokic's been in hell, bro.
Shit's regular. But if Jokic has regular depth, it's crazy.
I mean, it feels like it's the best it's ever been for Jokic.
We'll talk about them next. We'll think about that. But it's definitely much, much better than last year.
Mm-hmm. I might lean towards the Denver Nuggets with this one.
I'm going Houston. I'm going Houston. I think the defensive energy that they have on a night-to-night basis, that moves me so much, especially in a regular season context. So if we're just asking who's going to get more wins, I do think that the Rockets are going to get more wins than the Nuggets next year.
Okay.
In a playoff series, though, does that change it?
In a playoff series, I think I would take Denver just because they have Jokic.
Yeah.
But it would be one of those things where coming into the series, you say Denver has the best player, but I do think Houston has the better team, and then you go from there. But from a regular season perspective, I'm going with the Rockets.
What about the Miles Turner-led Milwaukee Bucks?
Goodness. Is that team going to make the postseason?
I mean, look at the East next year.
Oh, yeah, they'll make it.
It's a participation trophy next year. I might be able to make the playoffs next year. Okay, let's talk about the team we just talked about. The Denver Nuggets finally made a big swing. They broke up their starting lineup. They traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. They signed Jonas Valanciunas to be their backup big, who I've always hated on Jonas, but as a backup big to Jokic, it's fine. And they brought Bruce Brown back. In general, just revamped their entire bench unit, took out their biggest negative X factor, I don't know what you want to call it, the most inconsistent starter, for a guy who is a similar profile to him and better in a lot of ways, I think, than Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
What are we rating it overall?
I give it an A+. I wish I had 3 A's that I could just put up there, bro.
Seriously.
This is one of the best off seasons that I've seen from them over the course of the Nikola Jokic era. trading for someone like Cam Johnson, who's just like a tick better than MPJ in like almost every single way, whether it be like defensively. I think MPJ's a better rebounder.
Yeah.
Cool. But when it comes to attacking closeouts, getting buckets off on your own, he's better at that too. I like him a lot. And then all the other ways that they improve the roster too. Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown is back too. Like
Tim Hardaway,
I love this, bro. I love this.
Kenny, would you have traded Michael Porter Jr.? Was that your idea? What their answer was?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Of everybody else on the team, he was the one that was. It sounds rough because he was so important for them, but he was the most expendable. I mean, Jokic, obviously, you're not trading him. Jamal Murray, you're not trading him. He's the best Robin to the Batman. Gordon is nicknamed Mr. Nugget for a reason. Like, he is the city. And it was like Christian Brown, who continues to develop, or Michael Porter Jr., whose profile we can somewhat replicate with someone else.
Exactly.
And that's what you got in Cam Johnson. I think he's a better player. But my biggest complaint about Michael Porter Jr. throughout the course of his career is the tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why he ended up being the number one player in his class, because he was so fucking unstoppable offensively while passed the ball. But as he had his surgeries and dealt with the back thing, that tunnel vision also became like his kryptonite.
Yeah.
And I think Cam Johnson does such a better job as a ball handler, which is I don't think they're going to ask him to run a ton of stuff with Jokic, but like that's really an option now. Mm-hmm. And a better defensive player. He's smaller, so the rebounding thing may matter. But I really like this trade a lot. And I think Cam, the only knock I can have on Cam for his fit with Jokic is he does go through a lot of injuries as well.
Yeah.
He's played less games in the last 3 years than Michael Porter Jr., which feels crazy to say aloud.
Do you feel like a little bit of Nets embellishing there?
It could be.
I don't know. I think that's more so a Cam Johnson type thing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's what you're saying is there's some truth to that.
There might be a little bit.
Yeah, there's genuinely truth to that. But that is something that does worry me about this trade. But because of the way they've like replenished their depth, I feel okay about this still. I would do it.
We talked a lot about Michael Porter Jr. trades that we all kind of agreed. Something that I gave is probably him. Did you think it was going to be for someone that's like a better, shinier version of him, or did you want to see them like revamp their style? Cam's like your play style doesn't really change.
Yeah, I think as long as you have Jokic and Murray, I would have liked, like, this is honestly the most ideal situation. I didn't think it was going to happen, though. I thought that the route that they were going to go on, especially based on MPJ's value, I thought it was going to go, like early in the season, you had a lot of talks about, like, are we bringing in Zach LaVine and have somebody where you can get a completely different look than MPJ. But having Cam Johnson there is awesome. I do feel kind of bad for MPJ because he also played through injury the entire postseason.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, oh, he's missing shots. He sucks. And like Aaron Gordon, he played through injury as well. And he's Mr. Nugget and he did everything. But I feel like throughout this last run, that kind of gets overshadowed a little bit for MPJ.
You want to see hilarious too real quick?
What happened?
Along with the siding between the Warriors and Lakers, Al Horford is considering retirement.
Oh, shit.
His options suck so much shit that he might retire.
Wait, the Warriors and Lakers suck? What?
Apparently. He's like, damn, man, this is the best they got.
Warriors fans are so hungry to do anything.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. You let me get Al Horford with that biannual exception, the Lakers fan. I'm gonna talk ridiculous. Hey, we just made Jerry Vanderbilt playable. We put Al Horford at the 5.
Oh my gosh!
Man, don't let me get Al Horford.
Listen, I see the vision.
For 1 year.
Yeah, but with the MPJ and Cam Johnson. Also, the thing that aside from him like playing through injury, it did frustrate me that we're in the first round, we're in the second round, and you have to get called out every other game from your coach about being locked in. And for a guy who's been a part of this core for a long time, for a guy who's won a championship with them, to still have concerns about, are you going to be able to just go out and play your role? That upgrade from him to Cam Johnson, I do think is meaningful for them.
Yeah.
And so I love this signing for them. And I think that the Nuggets they're back to that place, especially because their depth is like normal now. Mm-hmm. They're back to that place where you can go into the season, say they can win the title and not feel crazy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking about Al Horford on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Could there be an older fucking team for him to go to?
No.
It just be everybody on the team is 35 and older.
This is straight nursing facility.
Geriatric hoops. I've seen Warriors fans that are like upset about that. They want youth. They're like, get these olds out of here. Kind of feel like they should go all in on olds. All your best players are old. You're going to be an old team. At that point, get the best old you can. Win with grit. Win with veteran knowledge. Win with being the smartest defensive team you can.
Man.
Getting a young player in that $5 million spot isn't going to change your life. So let's just double down on the strength.
What's available, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. This team back in 2018 with prime Al Horford, Jimmy Butler, Steph. Jesus.
You just signing French for Steph Curry. Like, he doesn't want to hang out with 22-year-olds. Like, get adults in here.
Okay, let's go back to the Eastern Conference. The Atlanta Hawks signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker to a 4-year deal via sign and trade. They signed Luke Kennard to a 1-year deal, and they trade for Kristaps Porzingis, which we already talked about. This is hilarious because we did a BR stream on the first day of free agency, and we're talking about trade destinations for all these guys. I mean, free agency destinations. We got to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and it was like, a lot of the smoke says the Pistons might get him. They can open up the money. It makes sense. He came up here and said, I've been on the Hawks Reddit.
Yeah.
We have discovered that there is a trainer that works for the Hawks.
And don't leak his name, please. Also, I won't leak his name. I don't need him to get nerfed.
Okay. Every single time they sign a player that...
Mike, I love you. Shout out to you. You changed my broke-ass life for the first time. And I don't know how... Bro, the last time we had a decent offseason, 2011, 2012.
I couldn't even finish the lore.
Joe Johnson to like a 6-year, $120 million contract. We've never had this type of luck, hindsight, like any type of strategy going into the offseason ever. And for the first time, yo, like, there's all eyes on us right now. People are talking about how good of an offseason we have. People are talking about, yo, the Hawks may be like a top 3-4 seed. To you, it may not mean nothing. To you, it may not mean nothing too. But for me, it means everything, bro. It means everything. A+. I'm happy. I'm amped. And I got expectations.
The first time I was ever on the show, we had to talk you down because you were really high on the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
This time, I'm not talking you down, brother. I share all the sentiment. This is a near perfect offseason. When Joe Dumars crazy ass went to that podium and said we called everybody between pick 8 and 13 to pull off that trade, and the Atlanta Hawks are the one to say yes, I was so fucking jealous because my team at 12 said no to a future pick. And since then, they've, of course, drafted Asa Newell. They bring in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They bring Luke Kennard, who could play, could not play, don't matter, just to have the type of shooting. This is the best Hawks team since 2021, brother.
It is.
Yeah, you said you have expectations. What are those expectations? What are you thinking this team's going to be next year?
I think we're going to be better than 2021. The last time that Trae Young had elite spacing, pretty much the only time in his career was 2021. His rim finishing was at an all-time high. Overall efficiency was at an all-time high. The Hawks were, I think, like the second best three-point shooting team, at least by percentage, that year too. And following every single year after that, we've been like 18th, 17th, 22nd. You know, like we just didn't have any juice, or to simply put it, buckets on that team. And now we have players who are more than capable. I don't have to watch Skylar Mays or David Roddy or none of those players of that like caliber at all. Like we legitimately have options, and we have a game plan, and we have strategy to the point to where like none of our guys are below 6'5" on a roster who will actually get minutes. Trae's the only little guy, and that's the best way to deploy that mechanism in this league, where all you want and all we see just big rangy wings. Will we win? I don't know, but is this the best process to go about it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Is this the most successful fighting through the trade your star allegations we've seen in the past couple of years?
It is, bro.
You were on, dude. The Trae Young in Atlanta fandom was on health like life support for a couple months. It seemed like it was cooked, and now, I mean, as a Hawks fan, you got to be the most hope you've had in forever, right? Like, there's ceiling here, there's floor here, there's support for Trae and his style of play. There's versatility to do things outside of his style of play, to make him move off the ball a little bit, do things with Jalen Johnson growing to his own. We'll see what Ricochet can do. You can run double big, you can run single big, you can run 5 out, you can run roll man, you can run a mix of both. This is a team. Like, this is a real, like, if they had a top 5 player on their team, this would be like, oh, this team could win it all.
And maybe they do.
Shit, we'll see.
Let's relax.
I love Jalen Johnson too.
But now, like, I'm happy that you mentioned top 5 player, because obviously, like, all eyes are on us when it comes to the whole Giannis impending what he's going to do with his future conversation, because we now have I think their 2026 first round pick, or the best of, whether it be like New Orleans or the Milwaukee Bucks, and we have the ability to we have the craziest wow factor in the NBA, and things could swing our way. Let's say we have a disaster of a season or whatever. We still have so many tantalizing assets in Jalen Johnson, he's an all-star caliber level player, at least for now, at this stage of his career. Zachary Ricochet, super solid rookie. He had a great rookie year. we have assets and we have flexibility, and there's so many like ranges of things that could happen in our future, and whatever it is, whether this integration of this Hawks team is successful or like it all falls on their faces. Kristaps Porzingis is an expiring contract. Who cares, bro? Jalen Johnson, he's on the steal of a contract, just making $30 million over the next like 3-4 years or whatever the case may be. There is not a bad outcome or scenario, and I love the process. And Onse, our new GM and our new entire front office, cooking.
What do you think the starting lineup is going to be?
I think it's going to be Trey, Dyson, Zach, Jalen, and Onyeka Okongwu. I remember I was watching our GM in his first actual press conference talk about how he wants to put a real focus on someone like Onyeka and really empower him, because that's something that's been weird about his career over the last few years, is that, yes, he hasn't been trusted fully to earn the starting keys, but also on top of that, too, I think we need to have a little bit more belief in him and just like throw it all out there. And this is the best possible scenario for him. So I think he's owning that 5 spot.
Does Porzingis strike you as being okay with coming off the bench?
That's a very good question.
He's in a weird spot of his career now with how the health stuff has been.
Yeah, I think that, of course, they had to do it a little bit last season because of the health stuff. So maybe he's just a little bit more used to it than we probably assume. It's also an expiring year for him. So I can see him being like, no, this is a chance for me to get some money. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. We don't got to prioritize the wants and desires of KP, like you said, expiring contract, but something to monitor. And like, I'm assuming Alexander Walker came here being okay with coming off the bench. He's like, money's money. So, but something else, that's a quality player off the bench. Like, they have a lot of moving parts, which this is a good problem to have, that lineup you said could change 3 times, but before the playoffs start, to find exactly what fits. Lots of options here.
Yeah, I think the state of the East, it's messed with me so much so far this summer, because I look at basically everybody and I'm like, yeah, why not you? And especially with the offseason that the Hawks had. Like, I tweeted the day after the finals, either the day of or the day after. And I had the Hawks in my Final Four for the East. And as this offseason has gone on, I'm like, are the Hawks going to make the conference finals? And I really do think that right now.
Not crazy.
I do think that the Hawks have everything that you need in order to make a deep run in the East. And then with all the questions that you have about all the other teams in terms of like how much is Detroit going to improve? And yes, like, you got the experience and you're adding some pieces in free agency. Are you going to be ready to instantly flip the switch and make a deep run? Cleveland, you still have to show us. The Knicks was last year. The point differential for the Knicks was 0 throughout the entire playoff run. So can you actually like beat people and show that you are actually a good team? Like, the Hawks are right there in that mix. Right now, I'm going for the Hawks to be a conference finalist.
Okay. Wow.
Do y'all think it will be crazy? April 2026, we look at Cleaning the Glass, and it says Atlanta Hawks top 10 offense and top 10 defense. No. I think that's realistic for this team, right?
Yeah, it would be like 8th and 8th. Like,
right.
It would be like one of those teams that just barely gets in there. But I can see that.
Only thing that prevents me from like feeling that way completely is like the non-Trae Young minutes. I feel like they have some creation problems based on, but like Nickeil Alexander-Walker used to be a bucket before he decided to go all defense. But I don't think it's that crazy to think that they could be top 10 on both sides of the ball next season.
It definitely, obviously Jalen Johnson has to be healthy. Big swing factor.
That's the biggest.
That's the defensive swing factor. I think if he's healthy, I think top 10 defenses, not a lock, slug of defenses, but I'd feel good betting on that. KP is the offensive swing factor for sure.
Yeah,
that bet I feel less good about.
Yeah. That's definitely fair to say. Jalen Johnson is definitely like the biggest swing factor when it comes to both of those things in my mind. I feel strongly about what you said when it comes to Kristaps too. Jalen, a lot of the times, has masqueraded as a backup point guard due to his offensive limitations. Of course, it's like not pretty at times because he doesn't have necessarily a great in-between game just yet. But if I look up April 2026 and we are top 10 in both of those things, that means Jalen Johnson finally broke through, had an all-star season, and he had a fully healthy season too, and that's the only possibility.
He's going to be an all-star. Like,
this year?
He has no choice.
Yeah, well, like
look at the East.
Well, yeah, like I think because of the East, but also last year he would have made it if he didn't get hurt. Like, he was on track to do that. So
it would have been him or Siakam. So I don't know if he would have made it, but he was in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely like on that path. So I'm with that.
Okay, let's go to another team in the Eastern Conference that we all know and love. We say a lot of good things about all the time. This is like a fan favorite of NBA Twitter. We all love them. The Chicago Bulls trade Lonzo Ball for Isaac.
I had a feeling that's what was coming.
The Chicago Bulls trade Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro straight up. A pretty rare 1-for-1 player swap.
It's not rare for Chicago.
You're right. You're right. It's rare for teams that make sense. They also retain Trey Jones on a 3-year deal. Salute to Trey Jones, I suppose. But Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro, how do you feel about that? Just tell me your thoughts.
If we are grading it,
we are.
It's a D.
Ooh.
And it would be better if they weren't offered a first-round pick at the deadline last season for Lonzo Ball. They had it. Only thing they had to do was say Marcus Smart come to the team for a year and a half, and they would have an additional first. So to trade him away for someone who was out of the rotation on his previous team does suck. I had always been an Isaac Okoro optimist, though, so I'm like in the middle right here. Obviously, he's not going to change the franchise. You're going to have to figure out who is playing, where he's playing. It could be a lot better, though.
Yeah, it could be worse too. I also like Isaac Okoro.
Really?
I think. Yeah, I like Isaac Okoro. Okay. I think people are like underrating him a little bit. Yeah. Obviously he's fallen out of the rotation. Last year, I think it was mostly offensively, obviously it's offensively. Always, and I think a lot of it was just the style Kenny Atkinson wants to play. He wanted more creation ability there. Wanted somebody who can run, be a more versatile shooter, not just stand in the corner. So there's reasons he fell out. I think he is a good player though. Like,
I think that he knows his role very well. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of will he go through a month where he's shooting 26% from three, or will he go 38% from three?
And the pick they would have got last year, that was the Grizzlies pick from this draft, right?
Yes. So it ended up being Will Riley, who I watched a lot of Illinois. I don't know if he's like gonna be that guy, but just to take the swing. Yeah. Because at that point in time when it got offered to them, the Grizzlies were the 2 seed. So that's probably why they're like, nah, we don't want this. And obviously they fell all the way down to a play-in team. Marcus Smart wouldn't be bad in the locker room for these young dudes either. At least. That's what I think. Who knows? I don't know Marcus Smart as a person, but defensive player of the year 1 year.
What you said about like it could be a lot better. I feel like that's the slogan for the Bulls.
But generally, it can't get much worse, and I feel like this could get worse.
Yeah,
but it's just I saw the comparison. I think you saw the graphic too of how they tore down their 2021 team or 2020, whatever year it was. And it was just a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of players that don't matter and no picks. Yeah. And I said, this is the exact inverse of what Sam Presti did with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Sold. Sam Presti had obviously better players, so people took that as like, we didn't have Russell Westbrook and Paul George. Not the point. He sold absolute high, sold at the first possible moment that it made sense, got the most value, maximized picks in every single transaction they could to maximize versatility and the path you go down. They minimize versatility in the path they go down. Yeah, they got one pick.
When we were going to the All-Star break, when we were the 2 seed, I remember those days very, very well.
How long ago was that?
Don't ask.
The good old days?
Yeah, it was a good old days. It's the 2021 season.
Damn.
I remember I got some flack from Bulls Twitter when I was like, I'm really excited that we're winning basketball games, but this shit is not sustainable. When you look at the teams we were beating versus not beating, and there's no real ceiling for this team. Obviously, we went on to go like 1 of 18 versus good teams down the stretch. Obviously, Lonzo got injured. And for 3 years, I was asking, like, you got to sell, you got to sell, you got to sell, you got to sell. And it seems like they just always wait to the very last possible second. Player on the last year of their deal, player coming off a bad season after a career year. And it's like, now is the time to sell.
I love that this graphic. Let's take a second moment of silence to look at this crock of shit.
Yeah, man.
Take it in. The only first-round pick here is their own pick.
That's so embarrassing.
It's really
no
bad.
plus value whatsoever.
But hey, we got our point guard core of the now and the future with Josh Giddey and Trey Jones.
Fuck
man. Yeah. Trey Jones shot 50% from 3 when he got to the Bulls.
Turn it up.
And the year before that, he shot 29%.
Turn it up. So, you want to talk about unsustainable three-point shooting? The other one isn't too far off.
Shout out to Chris Duarte, man.
Yeah, what happened to him? I haven't heard his name in forever. Probably because he went to the Bulls.
The first 2 months of his NBA career was so great. Yeah. It's like, is he going to win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, he's trash.
Shout out to Kevin Huerter, the white Chris Duarte.
Yeah.
Dude, the Bulls have this fixation on young players that have been in the league for a long time. Like, how old do y'all think Kevin Huerter is? I mean, you probably know because you're in the
I don't.
I think he's like 26, 27.
He's 26. He's been in the league for 7 years.
Damn.
So it's like, he's there with young Trae Young.
Yeah.
Isaac Okoro was a part of the 2020 draft. He's only 25 years old. Trey Jones been in the league since 2021. He's only 24 years old. All these dudes have experience as fucking backups. It's like, we want him in Chicago, baby.
You call that experience as backups. You call that low ceiling. You call that desperation. We call it upside over here.
And now Kobe White
we call that untapped potential. Yeah. All they need is a chance. All they need is a platform.
The last asset we have is Kobe White.
Yeah. What's gonna happen there? Do you want not what's gonna happen? Because who fucking knows with this regime?
Right, yeah.
What do you want to happen?
Kobe White is my second favorite player in the league. I know that might be crazy, but he's on my favorite team.
As he should.
I do want him traded.
Okay.
I want him traded at the deadline because he would have a little more value. It will suck when it happens and it's for a meaningless bench player and no draft capital. But I think it just makes the most sense because he's on his last year of his deal. I have no idea what his market looks like in 2026 where everybody has cap space and he is a 20-point per game scorer. So I think it makes more sense to trade him now. But we haven't trusted the front office to make good trades in the first place. So maybe I should just ride into the sunset with Kobe White being my favorite player on my favorite team.
You know what's going to happen? Kobe White will be traded to play with Giannis Antetokounmpo for Kyle Kuzma and a second-round pick.
Ew.
We get a pick. Oh, my God.
Not a good one.
Ew.
Kyle Kuzma will flank Josh Giddey on transition.
Dude.
Replace Patrick Williams.
If I ever have to root for Kyle Kuzma, I might call it, man. I might call it.
It's over.
Oh, man.
All right, my next team, Dallas Mavericks. They retained Kyrie Irving on a 3-year extension, which we can talk about a little bit if you want. But most importantly, they signed D'Angelo Russell on a 2-year deal to kind of be the stopgap between when Kyrie Irving comes back and then probably, he's going to take a second to get his legs under him. So really for this season, D'Angelo Russell is for all intents and purposes a starting point guard. Do you guys like that temporary Band-Aid?
It's fine.
It's completely fine.
Nice.
D'Angelo Russell as a player, man.
I'm going B. I think for their timeline, and it may not even be for Nico's timeline, to win right now, the fact that like you have AD, you have Flag, and the idea of all of those two guys with a point guard, it obviously doesn't work without Kyrie. D'Angelo Russell is going to be okay, and if Kyrie comes back this season and is decent, like 60% of himself, 70% of himself, that can get you to a spot where Nico will feel decent. And so I don't think that like the D'Lo is a terrible player. Like I think when he's playing for the Lakers and like LeBron's legacy is on the line and he's going 1 for 9 in playoff games, like I think that's bad. But for where the Mavs are, I don't think it's a terrible option, especially considering that Dinwiddie left.
You saw that press conference where Nico had the hoe ass smirk on his face talking about you're seeing the plan come together. All I needed was time.
I never want to hit a grown man more than watching that post.
You motherfucker. You're right, but God, I hate you.
No, he's not right.
I know.
He's
right. Lucky that he's right, that he can say that in a very like a tangible way, like, see, we're good now. Yeah. But it's like, you motherfucker.
That's why you just gotta accept the fact that karma doesn't exist.
Good things happen to bad people all the time.
Good things happen to bad people, man.
But no, I like this. D'Angelo Russell has, experience with Anthony Davis. They have a solid connection. The main issue with D'Lo and why to get traded was he couldn't play with Austin Reeves. There's no other small defensive guards walking through these doors, at least before Kyrie comes back. He's going to be flanked with a great defensive talent. D'Lo, his playmaking is kind of fallen off, which might also just be because he played with LeBron and Austin Reeves, so they didn't need as much. He can still shoot. He can still space the floor. And they're going to play these big lineups where they're going to need to maximize spacing because Anthony Davis insists on playing on the perimeter and not being a center. So they're going to do that. They're going to have Cooper Flag at 3, who I think will be a spacer, but he's a rookie. So you need all the shooting you can at 1 and 2. I like D'Lo there. I like him as a stopgap. I'll give it low key for the value. It's like an A, but because it's D'Lo and I can't give D'Lo an A, I'll go B.
You're right. The value is genuinely an A. This is like damn near the perfect situation, the best way to start out someone like Cooper Flag's career. Obviously, like we all know the all-around gist of his game is that he's super all-around. He can do stuff defensively. He can be creative at the ball at times. That was like his biggest improvement at Duke. He can make certain passes, but you don't want to get like overwhelmed with so many different levels of responsibilities, and having someone who can harness some of that load and also space the floor as well at a decent rate, bare minimum, is great. So I might honestly, I think I was hating a little bit just because of the stink that was left in LA. I might give this an A because genuinely the value is there and you can't lose in this deal as well.
We forgot to talk about the Mavericks. We're talking about the Rockets and all these great teams. The Mavericks are gonna be fucking filthy.
Yeah.
Sadly. I hate to report the good guys are winning.
Filthy.
The axis of evil is winning.
I don't know about filthy.
I think they're going to be good.
Bro, do you know how deep they are? PJ Washington is like their 7th man right now.
They could be top 5 defensively pretty easy next season.
I would almost guarantee they're assuming Cooper Flag is who we think he is. I would almost feel like it's a guarantee they're top 7 defensively.
Yeah. Obviously, like seeding in the Western Conference, whatever. Like to predict that right now is stupid. But like, do you think we're gonna end the season and you're gonna think that they're one of the 5 best teams out west?
They could be number 5 directly in my mind. That's a very real.
The Kyrie Irving, it all makes it complicated.
Yeah.
If he comes back and by playoff time he is Kyrie Irving, yeah, I think so. Like for the playoff run, I anticipate when we do our last power rankings before the playoffs, I anticipate they'll be top 5 in the West.
Okay.
But they'll have to get through some early season lumps. But also with D'Lo, though, I think they'll be fine on that side. Yeah. No, the answer is just yes. I think they'll be top 5 in the West.
They're one of the more like imposing teams in the Western Conference when it comes to straight size. AD, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively still there. You got PJ Washington, Najee Marshall's not a small dude necessarily. Cooper Flag is there. They have so much size on this team and a certain play style that just is conducive to efficient basketball.
I guess the question is them or the Clippers?
That's the real conversation.
Okay.
Honestly,
dude, that's real.
I hate to say it, I think even now I have to go with the Clippers. The Clippers shocked me so much last year because I thought they were going to be so bad, and the fact that like James could play his style of basketball, still not even be efficient, and it still lead to a lot of wins, and the fact that Kawhi was not 100% like this crazy dominant, wing, but he just kind of fit into the team and it was very, very steady. They've shown me multiple times we're not going to be a bad regular season team.
Okay. Like, maybe the answer is the Mavs are 6th or 7th because we have the Thunder, we have the Rockets, we have the Nuggets, so I think we all agree are locks. After that, do we feel good about the Warriors? Like we saw last year, probably a regular season. They were like 2 in the Western Conference in the back half of the year.
I would go Wolves.
Wolves 4. Warriors.
Right.
Okay, never mind. The Mavs aren't top 5.
That's
Never mind.
5. Yeah, like the middle of the West is very, very tough to where you get down the line, and then that's where you look at the standings. You're like,
injury luck is going to play a lot. In the
Western even the Lakers, like they were still a good regular season team, and they'll be better in some regular season ways with Ayton. So yeah, maybe 5 is hard. It's going to come down to health, but I won't be shocked if they're like the range is top 5 is in play.
Okay,
yeah, that's fair.
What do you guys feel about the Charlotte Hornets transferring their entire culture to the other side?
That's crazy.
They sign a 1-year deal with Mason Plumlee. They trade for Yusuf Nurkic. They trade for Pat Connaughton. They draft Konka Nipple. They draft a couple other white rookies whose names I'm forgetting right now.
Liam
McNeely and
Ryan Cockburner.
The cock and balls guy. What was the one with the mullet? Yeah, cock and ball. Yeah. And then they traded with Mark Williams. They traded. They actually get Colin Sexton as well, and they re-signed Trey Mann. How do we feel about this clear? We're not going to grade him individually. So the general outlook of changing this roster completely and getting a lot of white veterans in the door to make them professional.
C for Caucasian.
There we go.
But no, it's really
it's an A?
I think it might be the teams that are bad in a small market have to win around the edges. Took on a 1st-round pick to get Yusuf Nurkic, traded him away, got a 2nd-round pick for Colin Sexton. That's a win. 2 2nd-round picks for Pat Connaughton. That's a win. I feel like they've just won these small wins. Not enough for us to feel like the Hornets going to do anything this season. Yeah. But some of these smaller deals may end up working and mattering down the line. So because of that, it's like A to B off season.
Yeah, I think it's devious to bring a lot of these guys in, but the bad team, not only small market teams, but bad small market teams, you grade them on a curve a lot, and especially for a team like Charlotte who took a really big swing in the draft last year with Salon, and it's looking like a miss. Yeah. To get somebody in the door like Khan that feels like the floor is very, very high, that's fine. They're so far gone in whatever rebuild that they're at. It's every year is stage 1 of the rebuild.
Yeah.
So I just need you to get good players in, and then we can start thinking about how do people fit together? Are we moving in a certain direction? Just get some talent.
Yeah, you call it devious. To me, I call it like they're keeping it real honest, and they completely missed on every single thing imaginable when it comes to knowing how to set a baseline of rebuild. Now, obviously, like you can't control circumstances of Brandon Miller getting hurt and then LaMelo Ball going through the usual LaMelo Ball injuries and all that. But when it comes to just building a certain foundation, knowing like, there's no volatility when it comes to any of these guys. None of these guys that they brought in have an explosive play style or anything like that. They relatively tend to be healthy. I like it. I think I'll give them a B.
I think that every time LaMelo Ball gets injured, it stunts the growth of the other young guys on the team because they never really have like adequate backup guard play. Now they got Spencer Dinwiddie. Now they have Colin Sexton, who doesn't pass the damn ball. But they have guys that like when the inevitable LaMelo Ball injury happens, it's like, okay, we're not going to be good, but at least we can continue to develop the younger guys because Dinwiddie is a worthy passer and so on.
And they have just like shooting and veterans, and like they like Nurkic, like that they trade him because they like him, not just for salary reasons, which to each their own.
Right, yeah.
But he's an adult, and they obviously needed bigs. But I'm more excited like they have Concanipple in there, who should be a great shooter. Some of those other guys I mentioned are snipers. They were like the definition of losing all the margins. That even when LaMelo was healthy, it was just such a dreadful basketball opportunity where like he had to score 30. That's why he was gunning so hard. Like it was just nonsense from a team building perspective for everybody. So I'm excited for that to at least look regular.
We're gonna get to August and we're gonna have our annual week where it's like they can make the play. They can. I've done
it 3 years in a row.
No, I know, and we're gonna.
Fuck them. So did he, man.
we're gonna just keep talking ourselves.
We have a lot of the same sins with the Hornets, the Hawks, and the fucking Suns last year. Oh man, I was like, you convinced me on the Suns. I was
maybe my biggest miss of my life.
Dude, same.
And for the first 3 weeks, it's like, let's fucking go. I did it. They were 9-1. It was like, yeah. And then I stopped watching by January.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I allowed myself to believe in preseason basketball because I don't know if I was talking to you or watching your videos where you were like, yeah, main thing we can learn from preseason is obviously like how they're deploying their X's and O's. And I was like, you're right. Let me watch. I usually don't watch preseason because I don't want to let myself watch fake basketball and make assumptions. This year I watched and I was like, Mike Budenholzer is bad. Yeah. They are cutting. Oh my God, Ryan Dunn can't miss. I said they'd be the 5 seed. Or did they say 4? I said something berserk.
Dude, I think I had him as a 2 seed.
Well, that was nuts.
I think I had him at 2.
Yeah. This past year, no. Maybe 2 years ago. This past year, you damn sure didn't put him at 2 this past year.
I feel like I got high. Because you talk about him. I let you convince me. See, I let you convince me into putting them high.
A lot of times we have these conversations and I talk about things I got wrong. I die for your sins. Sometimes you take it further and you just don't talk about it. You just don't talk about it. But I'm over here like,
bro. If everybody tracked everything, I'm wrong all the time. Like I'm not gonna talk about everything that I got wrong. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna charge it to the game.
The comments love to remind me when I'm wrong, so I gotta talk about it. No, they let you go.
Guess what? I'm gonna double down.
The being wrong thing is so fun because you'll have people that will see one of your takes in October and bookmark it for April. And that shit is so cool to me. Yeah. I've been on your mind for 9 months waiting to prove me wrong. Fuck yeah, dude. The entire Raptors fan base hates me.
I saw that. Yeah. Man, the journey I went on this year with Oklahoma City haters and how confident I was from the beginning of last offseason that they're going to win the finals.
They called you a Glazer too?
Oh, they've been calling me Glazer for 12 months. Oh, okay. And I've tripled down a million times. They made me into a temporary OKC fan because they were hating so hard. And I, all year with confidence, every time I did a ranking episode, Power Rankings, I was like, OKC's going to win the finals. Yeah. Like, get ready. And they hated me for it. Every single time they lost 2 games in a row in the playoffs, they swarmed me. They wanted to hang me from across. They hated me. Like, it was insane.
After every other OKC game, or if we're getting ready to talk about OKC in general, whether it be before TD3 Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, tap in, or some other instance, like Isaac's always coming here like, bro, these Thunder fans are being so mean to me. These guys are being so mean. I'm like, bro, you trip. Like, what are you talking about? You're grown talking about something mean to me. What are you talking about right
now? And then you see it.
And then I tweeted something positively about OKC. I was like, yeah, this is a historic season. Same thing. They're being mean to me too.
You know what our most disliked video of all time is now?
What's that?
The video when we celebrated the championship for them after. When they won, we posted a video and we like applauded them. We were like, what a journey. This is so well done. Good for them. We all feel so good about this. We said they'd win. They won. People were pissed at us.
That's nuts.
They wanted us to spend an hour being sad for Tyrese Halliburton. We only spent 10 minutes being sad for Tyrese Halliburton. And then celebrated.
Enough time.
And they were like, the insensitivity you showed to be happy.
God damn.
Like, shut the fuck
up. How dare you?
Yeah, man. Next team. I don't know if have you talked about Malik Beasley yet?
No, because I have gambling ads. I just keep saying he gets investigated. No other context. Hey, this is brought to you by so-and-so.
Okay. I did find out an interesting tidbit today. Bro, he's in debt to his barber, too.
Bro, Tony Soprano is going to kill him. God. They're going to kill Malik Beasley.
To his barber.
Dude, the story is crazy. He was down to like his barber, his dentist, so much collateral that he had putting up. And it's just like,
damn, does Malik Beasley owe me too, man? What's going on here? Everybody.
Well, I bring this up to say the Pistons.
Getting your haircuts on layaway
that's crazy, bro.
That's a millionaire. You dumbass.
Yeah, bro, I got you on Monday.
Isaiah is to say Malik Beasley has not been re-signed, and the Pistons instead replacing him with Duncan Robinson. What are we grading the Duncan Robinson sign and trade?
How does he keep getting away with getting so much money? his first contract with Miami was like, okay, cool. He just came off a really good shooting year.
I mean, when you're a team player, when you're the exact type of locker room presence, the glue guy.
Let's not be naive here.
We know exactly.
Well, you're the type of guy you want to bring home to moms. When you're sneaky athletic, when you play the game the right way, good things happen to you.
Yeah.
In many mediums.
Having like that initial advantage, and then coming from and then coming from the Heat, where like you are presented as everybody here works hard, everybody here plays the right way. You get to double down on that.
You're a super white.
You're getting paid.
You come from that tree. Oh yeah, we need you bad, buddy.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. The Miami Heat is like Wakanda for sneaky white players. This is awesome.
Yes. And so plus he's a media. He has a podcast that like he's really smart. He could talk, like nah. But also like for the Pistons, like real talk, it's good. Like I think it's fine to Malik Beasley shooting did a lot for them last year. And so obviously like there's the defense of it all with Duncan Robinson, but like being able to have some options offensively and some shooting is fine. Okay. And I think that's good for them.
And that's a Duncan Robinson conversation. What do you guys think about the Ty Jerome 3-year deal to go to the Grizzlies?
I thought it would be more expensive.
That was funny.
It's like half of Ty Jerome, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right? Honestly, this is like one of the biggest deals. This is one of the biggest deals of the fucking free agency period. Yeah. Thank God he played poorly in the playoffs for the Memphis Grizzlies because the best backup point guard in the league for this much money.
I think the only pushback I would have on that, is that it was just for a season.
True, I mean? And it was like ridiculous floater range shooting. Like it could be unsustainable.
Yeah.
I'm fine taking that bet though for $9 million
sure.
a year.
For that amount of money, crazy. For sure. I think the Cavs thought that his market would be better too because they did the Lonzo trade before he even hit free agency, thinking they were just going to lose him for $15 million a year.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I kind of like some of the Grizzly stuff that they've done. Not enough for me to feel like they're in that conversation of those teams between the Clippers and other teams, but I still believe in KCP.
I also believe in KCP.
We have to since 2020.
Yeah, I'm just an apologist for a lot of guys in bad situations consistently. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, one bad year shooting.
They got my favorite rookie in Cedric Howard.
Yeah.
Who I would have loved to be there at number 12, but he got picked at number 11, I think. Ty Jerome's going to be good. Yeah. And you have an opportunity for him and Ja to play together, as we saw him be able to do that with Darius Garland in his previous stop. A lot of money that they gave out this offseason. But
they did.
It is what it is.
It's solid for, I think Memphis and Charlotte and even Cleveland are the three teams where like you need a backup point guard because you know that your starting point guard is going to miss games. And we talked about it so much about Ja's availability and them being able to have as many guards in that rotation as possible to keep that room solid is awesome. And so I think it's a great signing, especially for the value. Yeah. So I'm going for that specific signing. I'll grade it an A.
Overall, low risk, high reward. Like they have nothing to lose with this signing at all. High A.
We didn't mention it for the Grizzlies on the Cavs side. With Lonzo Ball, we didn't even talk about Lonzo there. We're just laughing at the fucking Bulls.
Yeah.
Are they better for replacing Lonzo Ball with Ty Jerome? Maybe he's better suited to play next to other guards, but they take a creation dip, and I feel like Ty Jerome's paint touches are pretty important for their style of offense in the regular season, at least.
Yeah, Lonzo doesn't dribble anymore
at all.
It's just catch and shoot or move the ball. So he's better than Isaac Okoro was, but the biggest question is obviously going to be Lonzo's health.
Yeah.
But of the guys that would have been available for the spot, I do like it. But the lack of creation from that second unit, now that you traded Karis LeVert away, who did some of that for you, and you get rid of Ty Jerome, will be a question mark. But because you can play units of Donovan Mitchell by himself and units of Darius Garland by himself, you kind of only have 6 minutes a game, 4 minutes a game where neither of them are on the court. It's like it probably won't matter.
That would be true. Yeah. I would understand what you're saying if you weren't ignoring the obvious part of all this all. Darius Garland's a Laker. You mean LeBron James is going to lead those units?
I'm like, where is he going?
You mean LeBron James is going to lead those bench units?
For those 4 minutes a game, I think it's okay because I think now it's like it's Evan Mobley time. Now you've seen the offense, his game progress, and if you can feel good about 4 minutes of just straight Evan Mobley time, that is a win.
Yeah,
right? That's a win for them.
They did prepare. It almost feels like they almost prepared for this moment because DeAndre Hunter is there, and obviously you don't want to rely on him for the entirety of the game or whatever the case may be. But he almost does feel like release valve to someone like Evan Mobley because he just randomly decided to turn into a flamethrower like in the middle of his career. So I feel okay with the loss of the Ty Jerome creation because it only like empowers someone like DeAndre Hunter and Evan Mobley, of course, even more.
Okay. What about Brook Lopez to the Clippers? Is there any juice left there? Stylistically, not a bad fit. He's a slow player on the slow team. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the best you can hope for. I think he can give them something good this year. Yeah. But I don't know if I should feel confident in the state of his body.
I would probably put it at a B, mostly because he's a better option as a backup center than Ben Simmons or Drew Eubanks.
Yeah.
Yep. So
fair enough.
You're going to get 48 minutes probably of just like good rim protection between Zubac and Brook Lopez. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the reasons why the Bucks are probably okay with losing him is because you can't get him to play any perimeter defense at all. But if you're saying we're going to play the super drop heavy coverage and just protect the paint, Brook Lopez can still do that. And he'll fight your ass if you talk to the star player. And I think that's cool.
Fair enough. Okay. Not much to say there on the Brook Lopez department.
It's Brook Lopez. Solid B.
What there is something to say about. How do you guys feel about the Pelicans moves? Specifically, how do you feel about them getting Loondog to pair up with Jordan Poole?
Shout out to Loondog. I like that signing. I think if there's any non-spacing big who can play with Zion Williamson, it's probably going to be someone in the same ilk as Kevon Looney because I think he obviously understands he has to pick his spots. He's been picking his spots throughout the entirety of his career. Probably the best place to pick your spot in Golden State. But I like that because he does have like an ounce of passing to him, which is important if you're not going to be able to shoot the ball. So that's great. Also, he has chemistry with Jordan Poole too. So that's like a solid move. I give that a B. But overall, I feel very on edge when it comes to their overall move.
Yeah, let's talk about the general state of the Pelicans because Loondog was leading with that, but that plus Poole plus giving up 2 picks for Derek Queen, who we like, but that's obviously bad asset management. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Zion Williamson of it all is always looming. The Trey Murphy of it all is apparently looming since he's linked to every rumor ever this offseason. How do we feel about their just general outlook going into next year? Because it's weird.
They gave the top job to someone who wasn't very good at that job previously.
Because he was old and lost his touch, and now he's older with less touch.
Yeah, like he built a championship team, which we can never take away from him. Yep. But that was over 20 years ago now.
Damn.
So it's like, does he still got it? Oh man, don't got it no more.
And 15 years ago, the league passed him by. Yeah. There's been a lot more passing since then. A lot of shit has evolved in the last 15 years.
And there is a certain part of Pelicans fandom that does not understand what the hell we're saying about that draft day trade. Mm-hmm. You could be the biggest Derek Queen fan in the world and still recognize, like you mentioned, that is poor asset management. Even if he turns out to be a star, he's not going to be a star this season, which means that pick is probably going to be super valuable to the Atlanta Hawks. It just makes no sense to me. Even if you fully bought in on him being your guy, fucking draft him at 7 then. It's not like you only had 1 pick. Yeah. So it's crazy.
And they could probably trade up in many other ways. Like they didn't have to say, here's my unprotected 2026.
Give me top 5 or something.
And it's not just their pick. It's the most favorable pick swap between them and the Bucks.
Too poor situation.
And the Bucks just had to stretch Damian Lillard. Pause. Hey, yo. My bad. But like they are in a crazy situation and they gave up that pick. So I think if you separate that specific move from the rest of the move, just like regular transactions, I think it's fine. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay. And I think especially going out to get Jordan Poole, you get more youth than CJ McCollum, which I kind of like for them because it kind of straightens out their timeline a little bit. Because it gives you just a little bit more clarity, and especially around Zion, who always has these questions. If this season goes bad, I do think maybe going into next season, it'll probably be easier to move on from Jordan Poole if you decide to like completely tear it down and get a little bit more value than trading CJ at that point.
I like what they did when it comes to the Jordan Poole acquisition, but it's like going back to what Kenny said, if you're gonna double down and draft someone like Jeremiah Fears, who I think is going to be really good in this league, he has all the potential in the world. It just feels like, again, the process and the like what it takes to get your mental blocks going, and grabbing 2 guys who at their peak can have like duplicative skill sets on the court just doesn't make any sense, especially when in general your team at the front line or overall when it comes to your star player is weak on the defensive end. And then on top of that too, like you have someone like DeJounte Murray who knows how he's going to come back off of the Achilles rupture too. overall, I feel shaky. And it's a lot of high risk moves that don't necessarily like align or feel cohesive. I feel like the New Orleans Pelicans over the last few years, through obviously different management, and they always had a certain group of guys who could work together throughout these integrations, or there'd be like Lonzo Ball and Zion and BI, or and Drew was in that too. And then of course there was a moment in time where CJ McCollum was there and BI and all that. This is the worst possible. This is the worst group that Zion's had around him throughout the entire time. And so I feel really bad about everything that's going on. But of course, I'm greedy. You spoke about greed. I'm greedy today, bro. Yeah. I'm giving it an A because it just works in my favor.
I find it hard to believe in their ceiling for some reason, more than I have in recent years. Maybe I've just seen so many disaster years now. But
believe in what ceiling?
The Pelicans. Just like their best case scenario being a 4 seed like they were a couple years ago before.
Oh, that's gone.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe it's because DeJounte Murray's there and injured, and then the rookie point guard behind him. Yeah, rookie point guard and Jordan Poole. Like the guard room is weird. The wing room is tantalizing, but hard to start all your best players at once. Like I'm just struggling to imagine like how this works out well.
Yeah, they have so much talent that I actually like. Well, you put it on the same roster, it's like,
yeah,
you know, like Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, Kevon Looney now. But all of those together, I just don't look at it and say like, yep, this team is about to be winning a first-round series.
Yeah.
That just feels
weird
to say.
The problem is that we've been saying this for years, but a couple years ago, they just like caught lightning in a bottle and had a top 10 defense for no reason because Herb Jones was a god, and they were a good team, and we all had to shut the fuck up saying they should make all these trades. So we kind of forgot that, oh yeah, we did think we hate this team a couple years ago. They just proved us wrong. Now I'm just back to hating the construction.
Yeah. I feel so sorry for this team, man, but also I feel so happy. I also found out too that Troy Weaver's a part of that front office again too. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, bro, like those are your decision makers.
Yeah. Apparently he was the one making the call.
Jeez.
New York Knicks signed Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele. How do we feel about the replenishment of the Knicks bench? Plus, they hire Mike Brown. I guess we talk about that a little bit. We haven't talked about that yet. Okay, naturally.
It's a A.
All right.
only reason why. We got some dogs on the squad. And I think that throughout the year, especially like early on, one of the things that you saw that honestly was missing from like this year's team as opposed to 2 years ago, whenever they made the run, lost in the second round, whatever. Yeah. But like that team felt like they had this like grit about them. They were very, heavy on the offensive glass, and that wasn't necessarily there. There were parts in the playoff run where it felt like that was coming back, but it also felt like things were just hard unnecessarily. I do just think like the overall attitude of Clarkson and Gershon, like I like both of them.
The attitude of Clarkson.
I like.
What do you mean by the attitude of Clarkson?
That one video of him grandpa.
I like the dog.
I like a couple videos.
And you were like, yeah, that's a dog.
Hell yeah.
Boy Iona. He's had a lot of boy Ionas in his life.
Hell yeah. Now, am I nervous about the fact that like can him, Brunson, and Cat all play on the court at the same time? Because we're just gonna get pieced up? Probably not. Am I nervous about a lot of that? Yes, but I do think that just having also bench players that Mike Brown will play, good stuff. Good start.
Do you feel good about Gershon sliding into the role that OG leaves when they trade OG and Mitchell Robinson for LeBron?
This guy.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't go 10 minutes without this.
No, but do you like Gershon? You didn't mention him. I care about him more than Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Like, he's not like locked down, but he's big. He's strong.
Beefy.
So like, I think just having that size that allows him to just be like competent is okay. And so it's not bad.
He can run with Cat or he can run with Mitchell Robinson. So it's kind of rare. I like it. On my show, I kind of have to play the role of the Nick hater. So I was looking through these, trying to look for the F. But it was a good offseason, all things considered. Not a lot of money, not a lot of roster spots to really fill. Gershon's really good. And Jordan Clarkson might not be really good anymore, but it's worth the swing for a minimum contract for a team that lack creation outside of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And Mike Brown is cool.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Because people are obviously shitting on them for hiring a similar like age and like.
The Kings been around a lot of their top guys a lot of minutes last year too.
Yeah,
he ain't Tom Thibodeau, but damn, he's the closest thing.
Yeah, like another guy who's been around for a while and has a lot of like surface level similarities to Tom. I kind of think they just needed to get rid of Tom no matter what and like have a different offensive minded guy in there. And Mike is an offensive minded guy. I think he has in that time with the Warriors, famously talked about a lot, learned a lot about modern NBA offensive principles that Tom clearly was behind the 8 ball on. Mm-hmm. So that's good. But would you guys have rather seen them do like a first time coach like the Suns hired? Do you want to see him go the youth route, or are you happy with like an offensive-minded old guy?
I'm okay with an old guy. I think this window that the Knicks have right now, it's with Brunson and Cat there already is a lot of experimenting and a lot of question just in terms of, can these two guys bookend your team when both of them are bad defenders? And so reaching for a coach or giving a coach a first-time job, that seems like another unknown that I'm not necessarily I don't really want to do that this year, especially with I'm going to say this all offseason. With how wide open the East is, it feels like you have a moment. I think that playing it safe, like, because that's what it is. It is a safe hire. Sure. And I'm okay with that. I think it's fine doing that rather than taking a massive swing and then now you have a coaching problem on top of a structural problem with Brunson and Cat.
Yeah. I would have really loved Dawn Staley, though. I think that would have been fucking great.
She would have been crazy.
I don't know anything about her like basketball mind. I would have loved the PR of it. It would have been cool. It would have been cool as fuck to see.
I don't know much about her basketball mind either, by the way.
It'd just be cool.
I think it would be cool because she's
she feels intense,
expressive on the sidelines. And I feel like in the NBA, we don't really get that as much as like soccer or anything like that. And I want to bring back the fucking crazy coaches.
The only thing that I had questions about with Dawn is like, she can wear the Louis sweatsuits at South Carolina. I don't know what the rules are right now. Like would she be able to have the Louis sweatsuit on the sideline? And all the coaches have to wear the same thing. Is the whole coaching staff gonna just be fitted out? I don't know.
These are the conversations that need to be had.
Those are the culture changes that you guys need as an organization, bro.
Could you imagine? I'm thinking about it now because I think about all the city jerseys. Dawn Staley in a Kith sweatsuit.
Oh my god.
That's going to be the hardest. That's crazy. That would have been one of the hardest pictures of the season.
Innovation.
How do we feel about the Minnesota Timberwolves and their moves to let Nickeil Alexander walk, re-sign Naz Reid for about, was it $25 million a year, 27? I don't know, I pulled up, and retain Julius Randle for 3 years, which is kind of, I think this was the expected route after we saw what we saw in the playoffs. Was it smart?
That's a good deal for Julius Randle.
Yeah, I agree. But some people out there, which us a year ago would have said, we just don't want Julius Randle on the team.
And guess what? We said 2 years ago, we were like, I don't think Cat and Gobert can work. And they've proven us wrong every single time. And so I do think coming into this season, like that's fair. If you don't get Julius Randle, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it's the right choice. I think I'll give it a B+. I think it's the right choice.
Yeah, I don't know. Letting Randle walk right now and re-signing is 100% like the best thing.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm in between B and C because by letting go of Na, like they're 100% believing in their young core. They're specifically young core. I mean Rob Dillingham, and that's the big thing that they made.
And Shannon?
Yeah, last year, 2 years ago, and Shannon, yes, as well. I think Shannon's a lot more safer of a pick because he was an older rookie and his game just feels more
older than Anthony Edwards.
Damn.
I think he is.
He was in Illinois for a minute.
Yeah.
Ant's just young as hell, man. Ant's ridiculously young.
Yeah. I like it overall now that I'm talking through this exercise, but it does scare me a little bit knowing that you didn't necessarily get better, I will say. That is scary. And the better that you can get just 100% relies on these rookies. It's scary, but also like your timeline, you're not necessarily in a rush. So I give it a B. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, what you're saying, I agree with what you didn't get better and teams around you added pieces. And that's always going to be scary. But the buy-in to the young guys, I mean, they traded a future first-round pick to get Rob last offseason. So it's really time to see him play a little bit. Terrence Shannon gave us a game in the postseason. Now it's time for him to step up. Even guys like Jalen Clark, who played a little bit when they had some injury stuff around the All-Star break last year, they're going to be relied on a lot. And it's a scary thing, but it also could be a blessing because it makes things easier on your books if you can say, like, these guys on rookie scales are good enough to play right now, and then we figure the rest out. But Timberwolves fans are hurting right now because they haven't done, like, anything other than retain the two guys.
Yeah, it is interesting because going out and trading for Gobert and then trading Cat in back-to-back off seasons, like you look at it and on paper, those moves don't really make sense. And then you think about it and like, what would the Wolves' logic be? It's like, we just believe Ant is that guy.
Yeah.
I think them like kind of standing pat, this is one of the first more tangible votes of confidence that they have in Ant, where you really are like, oh, how are the Wolves going to get better? Ant's going to get better. And it is really putting a lot of that on him, and seeing where he failed in the postseason, seeing where he could have improved in last year's regular season, and then saying, this is now on you. This is kind of going to be the team around you. This is where you're going to have to improve at. I think that's one of the biggest statements that I feel comes from the Wolves not necessarily going out and making a million trillion moves.
Yeah. Okay. This is serious. Don't laugh. How do you feel long term about the Spurs adding Luke Kornet to a 4-year deal?
Shout out to Luke Kornet. He's a
this is dope as hell.
Getter, bro.
Yo, this was huge. This was huge.
He just changed his family's life forever.
This was huge. Very underrated, extremely underrated signing of the
awesome.
offseason.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yo, Bismack Biyombo was the backup center going into this year.
Their backup center was so bad that in the past 3 months when we talk about them and like their future moves, I keep forgetting they don't have Zach Collins anymore. I've said twice.
Yeah.
I've said
That's because
twice.
they sent him to oblivion.
I know.
Yeah.
They killed the man.
Wait, isn't he a Bull?
Yes, he's a Bull.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oblivion. Gotcha.
Fucking ball.
Oblivion.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense.
The backup center room didn't exist. This is just cool. It's just going to look awesome to see this gigantic motherfucker next to Wemby in 2 big lineups. Like, Wemby is such a rare player for roster building and the amount of versatile things they can do. Just having him next to someone that's gigantic. Mm-hmm. And if they make him start shooting again, which he has, that's in his bag somewhere. It's been shoved down. It's been taught out of him, but it's somewhere in there. If you can get the 2 biggest players in the NBA to shoot threes, that's ridiculous.
Which is crazy that was taught out of him and he played for the Celtics. Like,
That's the one team you expect him to shoot.
It's really weird.
I'm gonna set screens and contest shots from the post when it's important.
I really wanted them to get Kamen Maluash for like this same reason. Mm-hmm. So they didn't get that. I'm very happy with what they ended up with. Carter Bryant is an awesome pick. So to get like an older, lower ceiling version of that, I like this a lot. They move me.
Yeah, no, it's a really good signing, man.
People
probably think we're joking because it's the backup center of the Celtics, but like the guy's really good.
He's cool.
And he can play 15, 18 minutes a game and just not do anything wrong. And that's enough for this Spurs team.
He can play that 12 minutes when Wemby doesn't play. They don't even have to play together.
No, seriously. Yeah.
I'm trying to we're all like really big Wemby fans and like the ascension is happening. So trying to pace yourself on like how good are they going to be? Are they going to make? Are they going to take like this massive leap? And it is a really big hole that they filled. So like, can they get to 7? Can they get to 6? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if they can do it.
Listen, I'm just here saying it's cool. I'm not saying it's gonna make it be a top 5 team.
Now you're actually gonna get a full off season with Fox and Wemby and them having all of that, and then you add improvement from Stephon Castle. You have stability at the coaching position where last year you didn't really have that just because of the entire Pop situation. And now going into the year, this is going to be our coach. This is how we're going to operate. Like it feels a lot better in San Antonio now than it did last year. So there are the tangible things that make me think that you can for real improve.
Yeah. The Spurs conversation when it comes to projecting how good they're going to be next year does feel super webby because there isn't a lot of concrete just yet. Like, I love Carter Bryant and I think he's going to be really, really damn good, but it's hard to project them based off of Carter Bryant, Devin Vassell, what Stephon Castle is going to turn into now that he's completely like pushed out of his role last year. It's just so hard to predict how good they're going to be. But in general, they did take another good step organically, which is what they're known to do. And I don't see any way where like they can receive anything less than A.
What % of their goal is development versus winning games, do y'all think now?
I think it still leans more development than winning games, because I think that them drafting Dylan Harper shows that. I would say like 60-40.
I was about to say the same thing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think it might be more winning. Might be 60-40 winning.
Really?
I think you can do both. So like, I'm not saying it's 100% winning. Mm-hmm. They do have De'Aaron Fox, which like he's not the type of player that you have to be like, we're on De'Aaron's timeline. Mm-hmm. But you have 2 All-Stars. That it's pretty hard to not prioritize winning when you have 2 All-Stars, like practically. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think tangibly all that means is like they'll close games with veterans instead of closing games with young guys sometimes. And like maybe at the deadline they'll trade for a veteran when maybe they wouldn't in Fox. So like it makes very minuscule differences. Yeah. But I think it's pretty hard to not prioritize winning when you have those level of guys.
Yeah. But then also it's weird and it's hard to envision, okay, you have 2 All-Star players and you're going to go ahead and like draft a rookie and focus on developing him to like.
Well, he's going to play the 2 and they're just going to say that these 2 guys can play together for the next 5 years. Yeah.
If he's
going to hope that.
If that's their hope, I hope it works out, obviously, but I don't know if it genuinely will because of the up and down shooting that both of their, I guess, 2 starting guards have had.
Yeah. No, it's weird for sure. either he's a starting shooting guard and they're just like kicking Stephon Castle out their priorities, or eventually it'll lead to some kind of mix-up trade, which I eventually one of these guys will get traded, whether it's 2 years from now and Fox is the odd man out, or it's a year from now and they trade Castle for a wing. Like, I don't know. Something's probably going to happen eventually, but I think they have a vision of all 3 guys fitting just fine together.
Yeah, if I was Stephon Castle, I'd be pissed as hell. Because all pre-draft, he was like, I can play point guard. Like, I want to play point guard. And in the span of 4 months, they've traded for one and drafted for one.
Get ready to be power forward, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
They sold him a dream, bro.
I feel bad for versatility. They brought in Chris Paul right after drafting. So he's never had an opportunity to play. And Chris Paul happened to have the most games played of his entire career. Not one game did I get to play full-time point guard because Chris Paul, old ass, is here.
Where do you want to see Chris Paul
go? I'd be upset.
He wants to be a starter.
He wants to be a starter. So there's only a few places he can go. Shanghai.
Tel Aviv.
Yeah. No, I want him to go to where, this is going to sound crazy, to where he can be with his family. So that's one of the LA teams. I don't know if you would want him, though.
I don't.
Yeah.
But back up to James Harden, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's a good bookend.
Get that jersey retired while you're there.
Yeah. Just do the same thing with, say, Damian Lillard.
Does he deserve to get his jersey retired there?
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm just asking a question.
Absolutely. He deserves to get
I'm going to name 2 NBA players. You tell me who deserves to get the jersey retired.
No, definitely, though. I think he definitely does. Because before him, the Clippers were the most irrelevant team in all of basketball.
Yeah.
And Blake Griffin kind of did that. And he hit a game winner in a game 7, which not a lot of people have done before. Over Tim Duncan. Bad quad.
That is true.
He's crying in the post because he he won't be able to play in the next series. But damn it, he got his boys over the first round. Come on, man. That's my GOAT.
This is good stand-up. That shit does not matter for jersey retirement, but it is cool. And nobody will say it's not cool. So that is a good thing to bring up. For a jersey retirement, don't give a fuck. But it's awesome for Chris Paul's legacy. All right, man. That's pretty much every move, I think. Unless you forgot any. Anything you want to get off your chest about the Raptors and them extending Jakob Poeltl?
Bro, he got a bag, man. I was so shocked when I saw that happen.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal, but the team's weird.
The team is very weird. So much overlapping talent.
And happened at the worst time, too.
Brandon Ingram's played 0 minutes. They said, here you go. Here's $200 million. Oh,
my God.
Well, okay, I'm exaggerating. It was 200. But damn it, it feels like 200.
Yeah.
Speaking of, why did they fire Masai after the draft? Do you think they saw him pick one more wing and they were like, that does it?
I read that he didn't even make that decision. Bobby Webster did. So it didn't matter grand scheme. He kind of just wanted to be in the room when it happened.
So you think it was like they did it like as a favor to him? He wanted to be there for one last draft?
Yeah. It is the timing. I don't think it will ever make sense to anybody outside of him. But he was just on TV this morning. Did
he leave or did he get fired?
Stuff.
He got fired. I Googled it while you
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen enough reporting on it to know why it happened, when it happened, but strange optics all around. Yeah. Which is that's how you describe the Raptors past year. Strange optics all around. None of it is brain dead. I don't think they're like I'm not gonna talk about them when I'm talking about Joe Dumars or I'm talking about the Nets and their draft class where I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, are you professionals? Like, this is insane that a group of men said this is the move. I don't feel that way about anything the Raptors did.
Yeah, they
but it's all just weird.
Yeah. They have to pay a premium to keep people around.
Yeah.
Because many people don't want to play in Toronto. So because of that, I understand why all of their deals feel like way more than market value. But also, they're going to have one of the I looked it up like 2 days ago when I was beefing with Raptors fans. I think it's either the 5th or 6th most expensive starting lineup in basketball.
Yeah.
And what are they going to win, 40 games?
And like, again, it's all weird, but
they
not
get 40.
stupid.
They could get 42.
They can get 42.
Yeah. It all just comes down to Emmanuel quickly to me.
And the Eastern Conference is wide open, so it might be more than 42.
Correct.
Who knows?
Listen, we're looking at the 7th seed right now.
All right.
Low key.
That's what I'm saying. Go down the list.
I actually do like Ingram and Scotty. I feel like I've been one of the few apologists of that. I've always said I want Scotty to be the Pippen to somebody's Jordan. Now, not to say Brandon Ingram is anybody's Jordan, but he's an on-ball scorer, and I think Scotty needs that next to him. I think he'll look great playing off of somebody that can be the main bucket getter. I've always wanted to play with Anthony Edwards. Ingram is not that, but it's, you see the vision.
I like the ideology of that. That does definitely make sense.
So I like that part of it. I just wish Emmanuel Quickley had proved that he's worth the money. That's really, if Emmanuel Quickley was really good right now, it would all make a lot more sense. Like, that's the one miss that's really hurting, I think.
Yeah. I think that if they trade that contract, it's at a loss. Like, it's not a valuable asset at all.
Yeah. I need that in my life. I need to not prove something and get $175 million. Like, that's crazy.
Who do you guys think had the best and worst free agency?
The worst would probably be, maybe the Pacers
Damn.
Optically going to a Game 7 in the finals and then losing your longest tenured player for nothing. I understand it in a sense, right? Because Tyrese is not going to play next season. But to tell your fans, hey, we were one game away and we're still not going to pay the luxury tax, that fucking sucks for the fan base.
Nets.
Ooh.
They have all the money in the world to do smart things with, and their best thing was getting Michael Porter Jr. They got to pick for him, so it's not horrible. Yeah. Didn't do much else with that. I can't get the stink of the draft out of my mind. With we were so just lukewarm on the Nets all year.
Did you guys do a draft stream?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
And then a couple days before the draft, we were like, "Yo, they just got a 5th pick. Are they cooking? Are they proving us wrong?" And then they proceeded to prove us right like a day later, and just have the worst draft haul. Again, these guys could be anything. I'm not gonna pretend I know enough, but on paper, it was a crazy way to go about it, I think.
Drafting 3 point guards in the first round who are similar archetypes is crazy.
Yeah, it's just logically doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, all you need is 1, maybe 2 of them to hit, and none of the logic matters. So I didn't give it an F, but as close as I can do to giving it an F when you have that many picks, I felt that way. So combining that with the free agency, I feel like if I was a Nets fan, I would have sold myself a dream of completely revamping my team, and I just got a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, if we're including the draft, the Pelicans had the worst. I like that trade is idiotic on so many levels, and that's gonna stain the entire offseason and the entire season for me.
Fair.
I think one of the best low-key under-talked about ones are the Orlando Magic overall since the offseason started. Obviously, they made the Desmond Bane move. They did pretty well in the draft with selecting Jace Richardson. And then they went ahead and gave Tyus Jones a bag, too. And he's a good 10-year vet who fits the glove and what they need. So, small W.
I think Tyus Jones kind of sucks now. I'm kind of worried.
He can shoot, though. He can shoot. That's
you've been saying
Jones can shoot. Not in any way that matters. It's a fake ass percentage.
For Orlando, he can shoot.
No, he cannot. He can't shoot for anybody. I thought that was weird because I feel like they made a point that they haven't traded for guys like Anthony Simons and all the other small guards that are mocked to them because they don't want to play any bad defenders. They sound like the worst defender I saw last year.
Yeah, I think that in the context of him being a backup, I like him more. Last year fucking sucked as a starter.
Yeah. My goodness. I got a nasty taste in my mouth.
Colin Gillespie ended up starting over him in some games towards the end of the season, which is that lets you know that you're probably not a start in this league. But the last time he was a backup, Memphis was pretty good with him. So I think that's probably what they're looking at. I hate it mostly because Jace Richardson, I'd rather just play him. Yeah. Because I like Jace Richardson a lot. And now he's going to be behind Suggs, Black, and Tyus Jones. We may never see him play.
Okay. That's understandable.
And with that being said, that's our grades for every important free agency signing. Skip the ones that are tiny. Sorry we didn't grade Colin Gillespie. Yeah. There's other podcasts for that.
I can do that now.
Dunk Don got you. Hey, there you go. He's got you. Kenny's got you. Not me. I don't give a fuck. And with that being said, we're on to TikTok time.
Crown Eaters, it's time to rejoice. I don't have no crowns near me, but guess what? I got a football on my hand. I just gave you because of my bad.
You just gave him shaking baby syndrome.
My bad, bro. I need you for a draft.
I'm locking back in.
There's a bruise on his brain. Soft spot. Welcome to TikTok time. Today we're going to begin with something a little bit different. The season's over. Free agency is behind us. We said this after the finals ended, but now, after the real finals ended, after transaction season ended, we can say goodbye to the 2024-2025 season. And by doing that, we are going to react to the funniest moments of the season. Go through it. We're going to rate them all 1 to 10, get a feel for what was actually the cream of the crop, the funniest things that happened this year.
You play 82 games with 30 teams. There's a lot to pick from. It's a lot of foolishness in the league.
Man, oh man.
This is famously the funniest league in American sports. First off, we have LeBron and Stephen A. Smith beefing, which led to an on-court confrontation and Stephen A. Smith doing a whole media rollout for 3 weeks afterwards.
He had the audacity to say he would have swung on LeBron James.
Listen. Give him credit, right? You got to give him context. He then said immediately after, LeBron would have beat him down. He did acknowledge that. But he said, I am a man. I do have to stand up for myself. I'm going to give him that.
I think it was a 10 if we're rating it until a week later and they were still talking about it. Then it became a 2.
Too much dip.
It's just too much. And I understand it. If the best player of all time was talking shit to me, I'd try to milk it as well. But he did it just too much. And it was a lot of, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. He was trying to build his own myth a little bit. He was trying to make himself an urban legend. The guy that went face to face with LeBron James.
Right. Do you know how scary that is? LeBron towering over you. He's 6'9", 6'10", 250.
Mid game, like this is in between quarters.
Hey man, if these two would have headbutt, earthquake.
Rocking the arena. If we're going straight off of headbutts, Stephen A's he's whooping his ass. Oh my goodness, he's knocking him out.
Noggin power for noggin power.
If it's like two goats just boom boom boom, I'm taking Stephen A. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm doing that.
I'm giving this a 10. This is hilarious. I hope this is remembered in history of Stephen A. Smith lore.
Well, it's gonna have to be because he's gonna bring it up.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure of it. Okay, next one. LaMelo Ball being scared by this clown. It was a video film for, I'm assuming, the Hornets socials.
Yeah.
And in this, they had this clown here that surprised him, and he reacted quite foolishly.
Dude, this is hilarious.
This is funny because this is exactly what my dad was talking about when he said LaMelo Ball cannot date his daughter because he jumps too high when he gets scared. That's nuts. And this was the video. This video has impacted my family. I'm going to lie.
This is a solid 8 out of 10.
This is a 10 out of 10, man. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if I was a fan of the Charlotte Hornets, it would be scary to know that my star player can get moved this much by a figure like this. But also at the same time,
he did fight back.
He fought back.
His arm was so long.
Dude, I thought that was a real person.
Oh, I did too.
First smack.
Yeah.
And then the second one, the hand just rolls off.
Yeah.
I thought it was a real person until this second. Oh yeah, I'll give this a solid 8. It's not Stephen A. Smith level, but it's close.
Yeah.
Next one. Ooh, we got Bronny yelling to a fan, "Your chain fake."
10 out of 10 again.
10 out of 10. I love this.
If there's anything an NBA player can do, he can belittle. He can belittle guys by just calling us straight up broke. And he's not the first player to do it. The editors will make it better though.
Exactly.
Too.
That's true.
Is this going to be the best meme of his career? Do you think he'll ever surpass this?
I don't know. Listen,
he's a funny guy.
But he is LeBron's son, and LeBron is one of the most memeable players we've ever seen. If he has that gene, this is a generational talent at the start of his career.
We're scratching the surface. This is Wemby game 5 when he had his first 30-point game.
Yeah.
Dude, the glare afterwards too, just like is that what you want to say back? Yeah. What you gonna say to that, man? Damn, bro.
What are we rating this, Kenny?
It's got to be a 10. It's got to be a 10, man. Because he made sure to make sure that the person he said it to recognized he was talking to him.
Yeah,
like, did you get that? Did you get that? Okay, cool. Your chain fake.
The elongated eye contact.
What can you even say back to that? To a millionaire ball player whose dad is LeBron.
No, it's not.
It's powerless, bro.
That's great. Shout out, Bronny. Amen Thompson scuffling with Tyler Hero, slamming him to the ground.
I never even thought this was funny. This was just cool.
Pure
like,
assault.
Yo. No facts.
Adam Schefter tweet. Assault.
Now the range that Tyler Hero was able to cover was impressive to me.
The range getting thrown super far?
Yeah.
He's aerodynamic.
He got ragdolled, bro. It was crazy.
My favorite moment is after he gets ragdolled and everybody's coming to his defense. Then he's the tough guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, hold me back now.
Do that shit again. Shout out to Ben Thompson, man. Just also a player who I think will have lots of funny moments throughout his career. This is the scratching the surface. So serious.
Yeah.
So locked in all the time, and it's great.
I didn't know he was low-key like a hothead.
I don't know if he knew that until this moment.
Yeah.
This awoken a lot of people. But amazing. Shout out Ragdolling. Which sounds like a pause, but it's not. We got Giannis shimmying on Malik Beasley. Hitting him with his own medicine. Obviously, Malik Beasley was shimmying on people all year. Shimmied on the Bucks. And then he returned the favor. And Malik Beasley did not like it.
The block shot before that is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
I
understand they have chemistry because they played just a year or 2 years prior to that. But, man, this is so disrespectful. Twerking right in front of me after you block my shot? That's my move. What the hell? I can't get nothing.
I think that the tweet it's attached to was funnier than the actual moment.
I didn't even see it. When Giannis stopped Malik Beasley from hitting his parlay.
He was pressed.
The funniest part, too, is after this, they got to the free throw line a little bit later. And then when Giannis was like, he is not tough.
Oh, yeah.
And Kane just laughed.
Oh, because Kane was like, yeah, I remember. Kane was like, hey, man, I know you talk like that, man.
This is a great interaction overall. Like, the two good moments in one.
Yeah.
Every year, Giannis has some good placements on this list.
Oh, yeah.
This is the duality. Do not let post-season press conferences where Giannis is like, I'm just so humble, right? Success is all I care about. Steps to success. This guy is a douchebag, yo. He is not humble at all. He's dancing and shimmying in his face. Why are you dorking in Malik Beasley's face?
Dorking.
And I love him for it. I hope he continues to be mean and pretend he's not mean. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm giving this a 10.
Nah, man. Nah, man, you fake.
It rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He can't get groceries for the week because of that, man.
Okay, here's a good one. Let's go to the league leader in aura farming. We got Shea telling his teammates to shut up, and then them reacting, being like, "Ooh, that was tough."
This is the Jalen Williams meme, bro. This is the greatest thing that he's done. I can't even say that greatest thing he's done in his career, but it's one of the greatest things on the internet that he's provided.
Yeah, I think it'll forever be remembered. I think that it's going to be a clip, a GIF that's going to get used forever.
Yeah.
With the edit on top of it.
Did you feel Shea's aura in this moment? Was it tangible?
I'm not an aura.
Hey, shut up.
I ain't like it.
You didn't like it? You want to see better leadership?
Yeah. He said, he's laughing and he says, hey, it's my fault. It's my fault. Because who are you talking to?
Exactly.
We are on national TV. We are peers. Don't talk to me like that. I am not your son.
Who are you talking to, J-Dub?
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking to J-Dub.
Okay, Aaron Wiggins' reaction to
Aaron Wiggins looks like he's smitten. With his hand in his mouth, he's like, oh. So are we giving this a lower grade for lack of leadership?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lack
of leadership.
MVPs don't do this.
Okay.
You got to carry yourself.
Not
better.
my MVP? Jokic should never?
Never.
Why is that?
He will condemn them in the locker room, bro.
He might just hit you. Like,
he might break your fucking neck and permanently alter the course of your career.
If you are talking in the Jokic, he's like, speak quiet. Stop that.
We got Stephen A. Smith playing solitaire during a game.
Dude, this is a 10 out of 10. It's so insane that it came out and he was like, well, this was a timeout. And then someone else had another angle of the game actually happening.
And then he ignored it after that?
Yeah, but he continues to double down on the fact that this is okay to do during the fucking NBA finals. That's nuts. It's hilarious because you cannot tell him that he's wrong in this.
About anything. About anything.
It's funny because it's like you said, it's a clear lie. Like, we have video in 4K. We have the game going on, and you said it's a timeout, and you're halfway through the game. Like there's so many cards already played. He was locked in, unless he's going for like a world record in solitaire. He's been stuck on that game for 5 minutes, and you're missing free throws. You're missing pick and rolls.
There's so many cards played.
Yo, actions are being made, and you're locked in.
I would find it funny if it wasn't such an actual problem.
Yeah, no.
It's representative of so much actual issues. But it is hilarious though. What an unserious guy.
Man.
LeBron fake being hurt and peeking at the camera, seeing who's noticing.
This might be the moment of the year for me.
Really?
This might be it. Faking being hurt again. You are clearly lying. Like, yo, what are you doing?
Oh my god! And like the way it's just like we know he does this. This is his bag. We finally caught him.
Yeah. And they're looking. They call it. Yeah, I hear no whistle.
Hilarious.
Then he says, "We just leave." He said, "Wow."
This is the #1 move for him, Westbrook, and someone like Kyle Lowry as well. It's so random. Just lay down on the ground for like 5-10 more seconds and hold your face really hard.
You know what the best part is? He's always touching the top of his fucking head,
Yeah.
looking for blood.
Yeah.
You know how hard you think it hit to crack the top of your head and blood come out? That is unpractical.
That's why he's my GOAT, man. MJ may have had him in the Space Jam series, but MJ never acted this hard before.
Exactly.
Give me LeBron.
That's a real bar.
People who were calling
Every time the zoom in kills me.
the people who were calling him floppers in 2012 was like, I told you, I've been on this. He's a liar.
Next up, we have Tyrese Halliburton's dad versus Giannis scuffling after a playoff game, talking shit face to face. Do we applaud his dad for the audacity?
No, we don't.
Oh,
no, we
okay.
don't.
Not even a little bit.
Okay, well, how are we feeling about this?
Again, funny. Also a problem. Also an issue.
His dad almost got decimated, man. I've never seen Giannis look so dead ass serious and mad to the point where he's towering. I wonder what Tyrese Halliburton's dad was saying. Whatever it was, I like it because I would be the type of dad to do that too in the future. My son better not be good at basketball because I'd be on like so much worse. But it's a 10 out of 10 moment.
No, it's 10 out of 10 restraint.
Yeah, no, seriously.
What do you think? Do we know what he said? Do we have any idea?
No.
I think he was waving his flag and all I heard was like, yeah, at first. Well,
this is what we fucking do. Okay, we do have it. So it looked like it was just like general shit talk. Like,
yeah.
But I guess just in his face. He's mad. He lost.
Yeah, this is the end of the series. So,
dude, it was so bad that he missed his son going to the finals because of it.
That's crazy.
They banished him for even coming to the games for like 2 playoff rounds. Nobody expected him to go to the finals, and they were like, maybe we should let him back in the arena.
And that's a problem. That's a problem. Nah, he should have stayed. He should have stayed banned for the finals.
Stand on it.
When we start next season, you can come back to the games, and that's fine. But also, he was on the floor in the finals too.
Yeah,
you should have just been nice, put him in a suite, get him away from the players. You clearly cannot be next to people during the game.
What do you think was worse behavior from a parent? This moment or Shay's dad on the podcast? Shay's dad on Teague's podcast.
Hey, man. They don't get much worse than what he said on Teague's podcast, man.
You want to talk about 10 out of 10 restraint? Jeff Teague is the man.
Oh, man.
That was one of the craziest things I've ever heard on the mic.
Like, I don't know if Jeff Teague was actually like super. He realized what he said, but he was like, "This can't be it, bro."
Yeah, he was like, "I can't fathom what you just said to me."
And then he doubled back after that episode. He was like, "Bro, I just really realized what he said." Oh hell no!
They took the episode down.
They did?
They took the episode down.
Wow.
For that reason?
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't even know they did that. Too bad the internet lives forever. We got DeAndre Ayton being out due to icy roads.
I mean, W safety. Like, it's a serious conversation.
W safety.
Yeah, like, basketball is my everything at the end of the day. Like, he's not the only one on the roads. There's 82 games in a season. He can't miss one.
This is what you got to root for now, by the way.
Hey, man. I respect the man who respects the law. So it's funny because, like, it's understandable if you think about it, but it doesn't make it less hilarious.
Yeah.
If anybody else had said this, it would be like, "Oh, dang, like that's crazy." DeAndre Ayton,
like, his case is.
This is what's wrong with him.
He gets no benefit for the doubt.
Like, he's the only one who has icy road issues. There's like 12 other players in your roster who have to be in attendance.
You telling me Tumani's at the game, but you're not?
What's going on, man?
Some guys want it more.
I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. I don't care. Next up, John Morant camera angle switches. John Morant tried to protect himself from being on camera, and the camera operator switched to another angle that he can't blink out. This is hilarious.
This is 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yo, the operator's an asshole for this, bro.
He's hilarious. No, not today. Got him.
And then he realized it too. He's like, "Damn, bro, I got it." That defeat is just crazy.
Job cooked.
He got. What a great sense of humor from the camera operator.
Just somebody in a truck. Cut the camera too. Cut the camera too.
He doesn't know he made a legendary
This is
moment.
a 10 out of 10, man, because this meme is gonna be around for a long time.
It's almost like it's funny that I look into Ja's eyes and I'm like, he's not having a good day.
Yeah.
He's genuinely not having a good time right now.
Hoodie on, he's just trying to like distance himself, bro, because he knows his energy is bad for that game.
Yeah, I assume he was injured at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having a good day.
Yeah.
Then we got this hilarious moment. And I think that's the last one.
I mean, that's like half the season though.
Facts. Yeah, he's a lot of bad days.
Yeah,
True.
Hey, I didn't see you there. We're taking a break from the pod to let you guys know about the newest TD3 production, House Call. As you can see, it's the same nonsense, the same hate, the same great takes, but just in the NFL. By the time you guys see this, episodes have already started to drop, so tap into the new channel, to the new show. Again, it's everything that you love about the Deep Three, but just for football. The link is going to be in the description. It's going to be pinned in the top comment, and make sure you guys go tap in and bring your crayons.
Hilarious season.
Yeah.
Next thing we're going to do. Mo, I believe you have some stat lines to show us.
Yes. So over the course of the history of the NBA, bro, there's been some insane stat lines. Good, bad, ugly. Some of them, like we've seen, I don't know, Nikola Jokic give us some insane stat lines that look super fake. We also see LeBron James carry his traditional 27, 7, and 7. But I want to know if these singular game stat lines on you guys' end are real or fake.
Okay, so we got to ascertain if you made this up or if this is real.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, first stat line, 0 points, 3 turnovers in 21 minutes, but he was a plus 41 in this game.
Ooh. 0.3 turnovers, so he was out there being actively harmful. Plus 41 is ridiculous. That's a mega blowout.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're like actively harmful.
On the offensive end.
Are these supposed to be from this season or just in the history?
Just history of the
Okay.
Plus 41 in 20 minutes is hard.
Yeah. That's so specific, though. This is real. The funnier thing to me is who did this? My first thought, TJ McConnell. I bet he has 10 assists.
I can't see. I'm not going plus 41 and 21. I'm going fake.
I'm going to go real.
Blowout. Is this when OKC got blown out by the Grizzlies maybe by 1,000,000 points? Is Tyus Jones?
Nope, this is fake. But it's close to being real. Bogut was plus 42 with 3 turnovers.
All right.
So it makes sense.
Yep.
A Warriors-bound team back in 2015, 2016 are the only capable ones.
Plus 42.
Plus 42.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
All right.
Next, we got 60 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists with 0 free throws attempted.
Ethical buckets.
Ooh. I don't think you can get to 60 points with 0 free throws attempted.
I got to go fake too.
The only thing that's like the closest thing in my mind is Melo getting to 50 on jumpers and like no layups, but like 0 free throws is hard.
60 and 10, like there's like 5 guys in NBA history who can do that. Harden, he's gotten some free throws.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron's ever had 60 and 10. Luka definitely, he got some free throws. This isn't Jokic's 60-point game because he had a triple-double.
And he had 61.
61. And we know Carmelo Anthony's like getting 10 assists. So I'm going to say fake.
You are correct. This is fake as fuck. But just a couple years ago, Jamal Murray, he was the closest to reach feats like this because he put up like 50 or 54 or something like that with 0 free throws attempted.
54 with 0 free throws is absurd.
That's so ethical.
It's almost impossible.
Get your ass in the paint. Get to the line. You could have had 60.
Crazy work, man. Real or fake? 1 point, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 1 block.
I'm almost certain this was real. The question is, who was it?
Yes.
Though? I'm going real on this one.
It's clearly real. Is it somebody this decade?
This decade, no.
Okay, so who could this be? Who is the king of the single digit?
That's so hard.
The minutes? I wish I knew the minutes. Is this
This is a guard, I will say.
Is it a full game?
This is it's a full game.
Is it like a good amount of minutes? Like, is this some bullshit where it's 5 minutes?
Rough. It's not 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's a good run. It's a good run. I'll say that.
Everyone gets one guess. Who is the king of the single? Matthew Dellavedova.
Okay, good random name. I like that. Kenny.
You said not this decade?
Yeah, not this decade.
That was dumb as hell. Why did I do that?
Jamal Tinsley.
Okay.
Who's a guard that can get a block too, though?
Yeah, the block is.
Anybody can get a block, though, real.
That's tough.
Sometimes those swipe downs count as blocks and not steals.
Yeah, when you have Jaren Jackson's scorekeeper.
Aaron Brooks.
Oh, I like that. It is real. CJ Watson back in 2013.
Wow, that's dope.
Historic stat.
What a name.
Bro.
This is actually really cool.
Yeah. You've never seen it before.
Shout out.
Real or fake?
Oh, my God.
Someone put up 40 points, but they went 1 for 18 from the 3-point line.
This is the most
stuff.
LaMelo stat I've ever seen.
This is like Gunner. 40. Is it Cam Thomas? No, he's up that many threes.
Yeah, no. I got to go fake. I can't think of a player that would be able to do that because that means it's all in between and free throws and I guess layups, but you also have to shoot the ball enough where you miss 18 threes on top of whatever went in.
I'm sorry.
This is like if somebody played like last game Kobe for a whole season.
That was the name I was going to. Is this a Kobe Bryant stat line?
This is real.
Ooh. This is fake.
Damn.
But Harden was real close to this. This is a Harden type game. I believe he did have a game like this against the Orlando Magic years ago in his Houston days. And he was like 1 for 17.
Damn.
Crazy work. Crazy work. Real or fake? 16 field goals made as a team. It was in the 2000s.
Whoa.
Okay, so in the 2000s. So you're not getting a lot of threes. So it's like, what, 16 times 2 is 32. That's crazy. I'm trying to think of like the lowest amount that you could score.
Well, that means they must have got to the free throw line a good amount.
This was in the year 2012.
They must have got a good amount of free throws. So this is real. Who could the team have been?
16?
They must have got to the line.
It's got to be like a Bobcat. No, 2012
Process
Bobcats
Sixers?
might have been. Process Sixers makes a lot more sense. They were awful.
2013, were they already processed though? He said 2013.
They were in the process for like years. So
yeah.
I'll just go any version of the Process Sixers.
Bulls.
So you're saying it's real?
Yes. I'm saying
it's 2013.
But also that doesn't seem feasible.
Who's really bad then?
Is this the year before? No.
48 minutes, 16 field goals.
Suns will be my guess. The Suns team.
Not a bad guess.
Oh no, I'm gonna say it's fake.
This is real.
Damn.
Not a bad guess though. This was the 2012 Orlando Magic. Shockingly enough.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
The final score was like
Big
56.
Baby Davis and Dwight Howard on the picture together.
The score was like 56-82 or something like that.
That's
Jason
Big
We got
Baby
the
Davis.
Richardsons, Jason and Quentin.
Jason Richardson.
Is that Jameer in the back?
Yeah, it's Jameer Nelson in the back.
Shout out to Jason.
And it's the
Richardson,
Heat,
man.
going against the Heat.
Yeah, that picture is
Oh,
amazing.
that picture.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not from that game. Okay.
Yeah.
Big
not
Baby
from the game.
Davis. Was he starting next to Dwight in 2012?
I don't know.
Couldn't have been, right?
No.
2012.
Couldn't have been. That's imagine that today.
That's a disgrace.
Hey, double bigs are back.
Not that type of double.
We're getting
big.
real big.
Real or fake? 51, 13, and 5 with 0 turnovers.
That's hard to do. Only five assists though, so it's not.
I thought Jokic immediately, but the 5 assists is like, that feels way too low.
Zero
Yeah.
turnovers.
13 rebounds. Oh, wait a minute. Is this Giannis game 7 or game 6 to close out?
This is not Giannis.
Damn.
No.
Damn. My brain thought it was a close out.
It looks real, if that's the initial question.
Yeah, is it real?
Yeah. I mean, that's the final end all be all.
Answer is
Seems
real.
like this is your final guess.
I'll go real. Yeah, we're going real.
Correct. This is real. This is Jason Tatum.
Jason
Closeout
Tatum.
game versus the
Yes.
76ers.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. It rang a bell as like a playoff game for some reason. but
Yep.
Couldn't figure out who.
All-time game, bro. All-time game.
And you know what? It'll never be acknowledged because everybody hates him.
This is exactly why I put it on this list. He was so good.
Shout out Tatum.
Next, 45 points
This is real.
on 40 free.
This
is Shaq.
It has to be real.
This is a single player with 40 free throw attempts? No way.
Attempts, not make. So like, I'm gonna say real.
40's ridiculous.
I think Shaq shot 39 game 1 of the 2001 finals.
Oh my God.
So Hack a Shaq, I feel like that if there's anybody to do it, it would be Shaq.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew Hack-a-Shaq got to that level.
Yeah,
I think that was
He's like 16 of 39.
that was a gap in my knowledge. That is insane.
40 free throw attempts is ridiculous.
I guess
bro.
we're saying real.
This is fake.
Damn.
Okay.
The highest is 39, and that belongs to Andre Drummond.
Drummond did it. Okay.
Drummond
Yeah.
shot 39 free throws in a game?
39 free throws in a game, bro.
What? How do you let him stay on the court if he's at 25 free throws?
Ridiculous.
Him
bro.
and Josh Smith, man, they were a nice duo. He
And
carried
I-
people on the court.
And I think Shaq, his highest was like 32, 33,
regular
like
season?
multiple times.
Okay.
in the playoffs too.
Okay. Oh.
Real or fake? 0 points in 37 minutes of play.
I will say real.
Gotta be real. It's like Draymond or
Didn't
Dennis
Tyrese Halliburton
Rodman.
just do this? In the finals? Is it Tyrese Halliburton?
Not
No,
too
he
much, not
scored.
too much,
He
not
scored. He scored. He scored.
Oh, no, he had
Yeah.
zero field
Zero
goal attempts,
field
right?
goals.
Yeah.
Field goal attempts, okay.
Yeah.
He did have a 0-point game against the Knicks at the beginning of last season, though. I don't know if
did.
that could potentially be it.
I bet a lot of people have done this. This is real.
This is real. You're correct. And it's PJ Tucker 2022. Cardio man himself. If anybody's possible, it is him.
Man.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Just running, yelling, clapping hands, and just
Sitting
diving
in
into the
corner.
court for no
Wearing
reason.
cool shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is his brand.
I would kill for 2020 PJ Tucker on the Lakers right now.
You
I used to
cover
love
anything.
PJ Tucker. I used to love PJ Tucker on the Rockets.
They don't make PJ Tuckers like that anymore.
They don't.
He's available.
All
No,
right.
he's not.
2020 PJ
Oh,
Tucker.
did they give him multiple years?
He got a 2-year deal. with
Holy
us.
shit.
Wow.
He got a 2-year deal.
He's got a real roster spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 years?
No, he's coming back. He's coming back. I love it. I love it.
2 years is ridiculous.
No, he's not. He's mine.
Is this real or fake? 13 points, 17 rebounds, 11 assists, and 10 blocks.
Real. This is a Hakeem Olajuwon.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to say real.
Strong bet.
Real
Tim
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan's a good bet.
Real. Who
I
had the passing to do that, though?
I know. 11 assists is a lot.
Yeah.
don't have a guess, but I'm going real.
This is real. You are correct. But
Dude,
it is David Robinson.
I was about to say David
Yeah.
Robinson, but I was like, can he pass like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
For
Okay.
one night? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
You got it.
I was
That's
about to
right.
say this is going to be, but you can get to 11, man. Like David Robinson could do that.
Yeah.
It was David
Who do you
Robinson.
think is the next capable NBA player to reach a stat line like this?
Who do you think? Victor Wembanyama.
Oh yeah,
Outside of Victor, that's easy.
No.
No one else.
I won't put him aside.
10 blocks is so tough to do.
Yeah, I mean, 10 blocks. I guess Giannis maybe.
If you squint hard enough at that picture, do you see DeAndre Ayton?
God, I don't gotta squint. Are you guys lying?
Do you know who he is?
My eyes are clear.
100 points, 25 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Come on, man. That's
Real
fake.
or fake?
Nobody's ever done this. Nobody's ever scored 100 points.
Somebody has done this.
Are you
Still
sure?
fake.
I mean, it's literally in history books. You're still saying fake? This is a layup.
You
for
believe them?
Them?
Who is them?
You know who they are.
Basketball reference.
You know who they are.
Your books.
I'm gonna take the layup and say I think this one is real.
Okay.
You
This
know
is
what?
real.
No, it's okay. It is real. I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna like change the rebounds back
Oh,
down
no.
to make it fake.
The whole shit for the first one?
This is real.
No,
As
it's
fuck,
not.
Donovan.
I'm just saying. Y'all don't find it odd like that there's no video of like anything?
They just had to change locations before the game.
We got the picture. That's all we need.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you needed.
Come
I have a lot
on.
of pictures.
No,
Many
me
which are
none
fake.
either. 4 points, 12 rebounds, and 16 blocks.
Damn.
Real or
16
fake?
blocks.
What's the record for blocks in a game?
Is this Mutombo?
Could be Mutombo. Could be like Mark Eden. It could be Elmore. Could
Yeah,
be
back in
any
the
of those
90s,
guys.
people were averaging like 4 blocks a game in that era.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely real.
I'm going real.
I'll go real. I like the Mark Eaton pick.
Yeah, Mark Eaton.
This is fake.
Damn.
Elmore Smith.
There we go.
1 more block. Insane feat.
Yeah.
You know, has anybody ever had 20 blocks in a game?
I believe this might be the... No, I don't think
This is
so.
the most?
I think
Yeah, I
Elmore's
believe
got
this
the
is the
most
most.
in a single game.
17's crazy.
Let me look that up.
And there we go. That's the end
There
of
it
it.
is. You
Yeah,
guys
it was
did
probably
pretty
like,
good.
like Bill Russell probably got 20, but they like weren't counting blocks.
Yeah.
But he probably
Good
had it.
too.
Okay. Next thing we're going to do,
Inflated stats.
we're going to go over to one of our favorite sites to fuck around on, hoopgoat.com. We're going to do another blind tier list. One of the many good games on here. You guys know how this works. We got 4 tiers. We don't know the category. We don't know who's coming. But all we know, first player, Tyrese Halliburton.
Let's go tier 3.
Tier 3. I feel so
There's
good
always
about
legends.
tier
Like
3.
it's always safe to assume
Okay.
there's at least 1 or 2 legends.
Okay, good to know.
Then
'cause
tier 4.
I was gonna glaze a little bit and go.
Does he? He
tier
had a
2.
legendary...
Whoa.
Okay.
I mean,
slow down a little bit.
If you want to glaze, who are we to stop you?
It's a lot of dip. Lot of dip.
Keep it
So
in there.
you said these can be different categories.
Yeah, we don't know. It could be a bunch of point guards. Could be a bunch of random
Got
players.
you.
But 3's probably safe. He's
3. I would go 3.
Okay, we'll go 3. Jared Allen.
Shit.
4.
Tier 4. Has to be tier 4.
Has to be. But what if it's like rebounding or defense or something like that?
Let's just assume we're gauging how good they are as
Okay.
players.
All right. Yeah. Then tier 4.
Tier 4. Aaron Gordon. If this is all current players, we're already fucked. But at this point, we have to go forward, hoping there's
Right,
legends
yeah.
here. So I
Yeah.
guess tier 4.
Damn.
We'll go 4.
But they're better some stars. Better come fast.
Yeah, please, Michael
Yeah.
Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, bro. Relax.
Zach Levine.
Jesus
God,
Christ.
Zachary Levine.
4.
Now
we
it's gotta be
can't
thinking-
waste 4. We're gonna end up with somebody awful at tier 1.
What if it's dunking or something? You got Aaron Gordon. You got Zach Levine.
Tyrese Halliburton tier 3. Shit.
Yeah.
It's not in. Zach could be 3 or 4, I suppose.
Sure.
Realistically, probably 4. But if we want to be conservative with our 4 spots, we could go 3.
We already messed up. Let's try to minimize the damage. We'll go 3.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
'Cause what if it's like looks?
I
Zach
feel-
Levine's pretty high on the list. Man.
Tier 1. Okay, we'll go 3. I don't. Whatever.
I don't feel good
This
about
isn't gonna
it.
age well. Fred VanVleet.
Damn.
4.
Hey, is this all current players?
I guess so.
Gotta be right.
But
Damn.
there really isn't. a
Jason
spot.
Kidd.
Oh, okay,
there we
okay,
go.
okay,
What?
we're here.
All right.
We might gotta fuck around, put him tier 1 at
Yeah,
this rate.
lifeline, yeah.
Do we just go tier 2 and hope there's like Shaq?
No.
Yeah, me personally, I want to be safe
They've been
and put him
giving
tier
us
2.
some bad options.
There's no way. Jason Kidd's like the 25th best player of all time. Surely there's a top 25 player on here.
There has to be.
I like that logic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go tier 2.
Let's play the odds.
Trey Young. Tier 3.
Okay.
Him next to Halliburton. That feels fair.
That feels
Sure.
very fair.
We should have
Neck
put
and
Zach
neck.
Levine tier 4. I wish we would have did that.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis.
Okay, tier
Tier
2.
two.
Easy. There
Okay.
we go.
We might have cooked a little bit.
A little bit.
Could he be tier 1 though?
Blake Griffin. Okay, so there might be a legend, there might be a bum. We're getting Blake Griffin wrong either way. You
Yeah.
want to undersell him or oversell him?
Undersell.
Undersell. Oh, but we could look really dumb though too.
This already
We could
looks
really-
bad.
But
Yeah,
how
under-
bad do you
undersell
want to
him.
look?
Hey man, if we would have flipped, if we put Zach Levine tier 4, this would have been fine.
Yeah. And
Kevin Johnson. Well, guys,
It gotta be handles, right?
we're just doing. We decide really if we're doing how good the player is.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood then.
I appreciate you coming, Kenny. You helped us put together the worst tier list in T3 history.
My argument, it could be ranking based on political affiliation.
Okay.
Where Kevin Johnson was like a governor or something.
Real conversation.
Jason Kidd is the closest thing to that by being a coach.
Hold on, Kevin Johnson was a governor?
Something like that.
He was the mayor of Sacramento.
Something like that.
I didn't know that.
So yeah.
Shout out. This is career accomplishments outside of basketball.
Yep.
There we go. We fucking cooked.
Exactly.
We cooked.
AD has a TV show.
We cooked.
And Jared Allen just played with Legos. We cooked.
All right, man. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you some NBA players' last 5 2K ratings. The last 5 games. You guys got to guess who the player is based on their progression over the years.
Okay.
So this is obviously, really what we're doing here is Kenny should win this game.
You would think so.
You would think so. Yeah, I would hope so. The goal is, can one of y'all have more points than him at the end? Can one of y'all answer more than him?
I feel good about this.
Do y'all game at all?
No.
I ain't touched 2K.
I'm not.
2-3 years.
I don't play 2K.
Okay.
Yeah, not to where I'm looking at actual ratings on 2K.
Okay, so I should have the advantage then. All right.
I'm
a
college football guy.
It's almost that time, baby.
Yep. I'm a Madden guy. First player. 83 overall this year. 83 last year, and they've gone down some of the years before that. They were a little bit higher.
They were on the way up.
2022.
Yep, they were on the way up. They were trending well in 2K22.
And then 2K snatched their chain and say, here's that 83, be happy with it.
But they're not like buns. They haven't fallen off completely. Just a little step back.
But they've been good for a while, though.
I have a guess.
Oh.
My guess, I'm putting it down right now. I see the best moment of the career happen between 2022 and 2023. I got Jordan Poole as my guess.
This is not Jordan Poole.
Fuck.
You are along the right lines. Jordan Poole's never this high.
My guess is Zach LaVine.
Not Zach LaVine.
Ooh.
But think about, okay, so this is a big guy.
Oh. Okay.
Who's the big Zach LaVine?
Who's the
big Zach LaVine?
In terms of what the patterns you're identifying, who's the big man version of that? Because obviously, no, they fell off around that time, at least in the public eye, to 2K. But I'll give you a hint. It's a big guy.
Is it Miles Turner? The hell?
It's not Miles Turner. Hell no. 86 overall Miles Turner over my dead body.
Oh, this is Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, it's not.
God damn.
Hold on. I'm gonna get there.
Let's see.
It's a big guy.
The big Zach LaVine is throwing me off. Like
Don't
crazy.
think about that. No, I'll give you another hint. He changed teams in part of this run.
Okay.
Last 2 years, he's been on a different team. The 83 overalls are on a different team.
Okay.
Kenny, you got a lot of reputation to protect.
No.
You're
People
brainstorming.
know I don't actually play 2K. I just make 2K.
You were looking at menus, though. You look at overalls.
My problem is I can never think of the teams on the top of my mind.
Yeah.
I will say this is one of the harder ones up top. These numbers don't tell you a whole lot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are cooked. This is DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, reputation-wise,
I should have
big Zach LaVine.
got that. Damn.
Okay.
Okay.
That's on me.
Yeah, but this is hard, though. A fall off from 85 to 83 is quite negligible.
I feel like 83 is very generous for
It
what
was.
he did last
Yeah.
season.
It was very generous.
And nobody's playing 2K with DeAndre Ayton.
Next player, progression over the years.
33?
That's supposed to say 93.
Oh, yeah.
He died.
Brother
that
lost
year.
a leg,
He
man.
lost a leg that year. Shit. Came back a goon. 96 overall, progressed over the years pretty naturally.
I'm going to say this is Jason Tatum.
This is not Jason Tatum. Oh,
Shea.
fuck. It's Shea.
Damn.
I will say,
believe you, I
I
believe
was
you.
going to say Shea.
I believe you.
Damn, okay.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I didn't mean to reveal it, but I saw the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
going to say Shea.
That one's easy, natural
Yeah.
progression.
Definitely easy.
Next one. Who is this player?
Ooh.
Peaked a few years ago, at least on this list, down to 81 overall. Pretty substantial fall off from 24 to 25. Going down 4 overall points. And then 5 and then 4.
This is Jimmy Butler.
Hell no. 81? Come on.
Is this Trae Young?
Hell no.
It's not Trae Young.
resounding.
I don't hate him that much.
DeMar?
Not DeMar.
Mm.
Better guess. But not DeMar. DeMar's the
guy that
closest
was-
guess so far.
The 90 overall club for 2 years. And then nowadays, he's like a rotation player, basically. Maybe just a solid starter.
Barely. I'll say, no, I'll give you a hint. 81 is too high for what he should have been this year. Name recognition is getting him 81. Not his play.
This is Rudy Gobert?
You know damn well I would never say that about Rudy Gobert.
You say he doesn't play?
Oh, okay.
I didn't say he doesn't play. I mean, he plays, but like he doesn't deserve 81.
Gotcha.
It's
Yo,
pu-
we're throwing stinkers right now.
Yeah, you
man.
guys suck. Well, I will say this is kind of hard.
I gotta look at NBA teams, man. We're throwing stinkers.
This
is that allowed?
Can I do that?
Is that allowed?
I just want to look at teams too.
We've never done that.
Just literally just like have teams in your face. Like those are drawing blanks, just logos.
Wow, this is
all right, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, PEDs?
What are we doing?
This is Christopher Emmanuel Paul.
I wouldn't have got that. That's an insane fall off too.
I wouldn't have got there too.
Yeah,
that's Chris against Paul. The spirit of the game.
Yep. I will say 81 is too high.
The picture memorized over there.
If this had 72 overall, and you might have got it going from 90 to 72, but 81 is too high. He was not 81 last year.
Man, this is hard.
Have you guys only gotten Shea right so far?
Yeah.
I didn't even count for real.
Next up, who is this player? 79 in 2K21, progressed up to 83 right now.
So he's just been consistently okay.
Jalen Green.
Years.
Damn, man, I'm going to hit with Jalen Green sometime.
He's not that bad of a guess, I don't think.
It's not Jalen Green.
He's around that overall. Fred VanVleet.
Not Fred VanVleet. This one will surprise you. I think this guy, you might consider him a little more accomplished, a little more. The 79 is tricky. He's an older player.
This is Draymond Green?
This is Draymond Green.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yo, that 79 is so nuts.
They said you fell off, then they won the chip, and they were like, never mind.
Wow. Good pull.
79.
Because those are the years when they were terrible, and he was out there with Steph running around. Without Steph running around, showed him respect after a chip.
Yeah, 83. Wow. That fits.
Good pull. The first good selection of this entire thing.
There we go.
Finally. Who is this player?
God damn, he's all over the place.
75, 82. Oh, that's a typo. 2K25. Oh, no. That's a typo on my end. Gotcha. I think he's 80 right now.
He's 80 right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And in 2021. Okay, I understand. Got it.
Oh, okay. So right now he's at 80. 75, so 82, 83.
Fourth year player, 80 overall.
That was a bad typo. I don't know how I wrote 70.
Okay. You said it's at 80 right now.
Yeah, he's at 80 right now. So so this is a young player, obviously.
Yeah, he's only been in the league for 4 years.
Oh, no, okay, no, that's why it's a typo. He's a 79 right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, the second number got fucked up.
Do you trick people?
79 right now, okay.
79.
Honestly, he has a spot very near and dear to somebody's heart on one of these chairs.
Oh, so
somebody in this room has a spot very near and dear to their heart.
All right, so
Mikal Bridges?
No, it's not Mikal Bridges.
Damn, he'll be higher.
Kobe White's not a 79.
It's not Kobe White.
Oh.
We already did Ayton, so I don't think it's a Laker. So it's either a Knick, a Bull, or a Hawk.
It's no one on the Hawks.
So it's either a Knick or a Bull.
Who's the first overall pick in 2021?
Cade Cunningham.
That's Cade's draft. Okay.
I'll say the question mark is there. He wasn't in the league that year.
Okay.
Knicks, Bulls. No,
everybody
on the Knicks is like fairly old, so I feel like it has to be a Bull. Is this Josh Giddey?
This is Josh Giddey.
Okay, yeah.
You know why? You know why that threw me off? I'm thinking about his rating right now. This is crazy. I noticed it's an 85 right now. So this is probably his before the season started.
It probably is.
So that's why I didn't think
I got these from Hoops Hype, and they have like the year-by-year breakdown. It's probably preseason.
Yep. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
He's an 85 right now?
He's an 85 right
That's
now.
nasty.
He had a really good month before the season.
He did.
That was enough. For
a really good month.
42% from 3.
Yeah, man. Stop sleeping.
Next player, who is this?
96, 95,
Kevin
94, 94, 92.
This is not Kevin Durant. Close.
John Morant.
Not John.
96 means like you're at the top of the league. Is this Joel Embiid?
It's not Joel
Embiid.
Embiid.
LeBron.
It's not LeBron. LeBron's still pretty high.
Steph?
Not Steph.
Damn.
Dancing around it.
Jason Tatum.
Not Jason Tatum.
Fuck. Name another league player.
We're dancing around it. Who's
He might be out of your consciousness because there's a lot of reasons to forget about him.
Dame.
Not Dame.
Ooh, that's a great pull.
Kind of no, not Dame.
Did you say Joel Embiid already? Yeah,
he did.
Okay.
AD?
Not AD. The first guess was the closest one when you said Kevin Durant.
Kyrie.
Not Kyrie.
James Harden.
Kawhi?
Oh my, Kawhi Leonard.
Jeez, we're just listing off these players.
You say enough names, eventually
all
you'll
the top 12 players in
Yeah.
the league right now.
Next player.
Ooh. 77, 84,
So he made a
87,
jump.
86, 87. Okay.
He made a jump, and now he's very respectable.
But, 4 years in a row around this level, I'll say 2K21 was his rookie year, I think, or second year, something like that. So the 2K22 jump was like he became like a player after your rookie rating, but been pretty stagnant in the last 4 years.
Paolo Banchero.
Come on, no.
How long is
he hasn't been in the league that long.
OG?
Not OG. I know OG's not that. I don't think he's that high. He's been stagnant after his rookie year. After his second year, he made a leap. Been stagnant since then.
Okay.
This is harder than I anticipated.
Yeah, this is good exercise in the brain.
77 is kind of wild. But I see 87. Is this like... I feel is this Desmond Bain?
This is not Desmond Bain.
Is this Tyrese Maxey?
This is not Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, no.
Scotty Barnes.
Not Scotty Barnes. This is LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
It's stuck in that range for a few years now. Some different circumstances holding him back.
Damn, LaMelo. These conversations are getting a little.
One can argue 87 is too high.
Ooh. Next player.
Oh, he fell off.
Fell off hard.
87, 84,
Damn.
83,
Cliff.
76, 76.
He fell off, y'all. 2021.
DeMar DeRozan?
Not
What the
DeMar-
hell?
76?
76? It's a
That's
bench
high.
player, man.
Who would have been really good in 2K21?
Russell?
No.
Oh,
that's a
good
much
guess.
better guess.
That is a really good guess.
2K is so generous with ratings. Anybody gets in the
they are.
70s. Nobody gets below 70s anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Too nice.
Ronnie has to be buddy with everybody. He can't be
Yeah,
honest.
he
See, this
Okay.
is
So
very.
in 2021, this guy was like a near all-star.
Yeah.
and then he was washed, and then he
Then he was
confirmed that
washed.
he was washed.
This is Al Horford.
Not Al Horford.
Damn.
Wow. 2 years of being watched. Who are we looking at this like, hey man,
Might be time
the
to hang it
basketball's
up.
left you.
Leave the game before the game leaves you.
They would never have Klay Thompson.
This is Ben Simmons.
Yeah, we ain't getting this.
Dude, we would not.
We suck.
Yeah, we ain't
I don't
getting
think we would
this.
have got there either way.
I'm gonna skip this one. Ah, fuck! I just showed it.
Jalen Brunson?
Damn, I don't want to do that one. Okay, last one. Who is this player?
Started
87.
off strong, and now it's just like, all right,
Another player
You
that is
good.
very near and dear to one of our hearts.
87, 88, 88.
is this Trae Young?
This is not Trae Young.
Is this Cat?
This is not Cat. I will say, getting hotter. So
Not
obviously,
Trae Young,
88
not
player
Cat.
that's good. Took a little step back last 2 years, but still good.
There's Nikola Vucevic.
Hell, get the fuck out of my face. 80 overall for Nikola Vucevic.
I want to say Mikal, but he just wasn't in 87 and 21.
Yeah, so it's a guy who took a little bit of a step back, but still really good. Just maybe not quite what he once was in 2023.
Okay. Now
Is
we gotta
this
get
DeMar?
Near and
It's
dear
not
to one of
DeMar.
our
Near and
hearts.
dear to our hearts. That's what's throwing me off.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
near and dear to
can't be
Kenny's
no
heart.
one.
To
Fine,
my
What the
I'll
hell?
say it's near and dear to Kenny's heart.
Damn,
shit.
what?
Who am I
is
a
this?
fan of?
No Giddy, no Josh.
See, this is your lane times 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I should be like, no.
I'm gonna need you to carry.
Thinking about
If
He's
I
your
push-
guy.
Pascal Siakam.
No. It's your guy. Is Siakam your guy? I don't even know that.
No, he's not.
That's
That's
fine.
fine.
not Tyrese
People associate
Halliburton.
you with this guy.
Rudy Gobert.
This is Rudy Gobert.
Wow. Yeah.
Damn, how do you feel to be like,
Makes sense.
oh, that's the Rudy Gobert guy?
I've accepted it
Yeah.
as my reality.
Do you
It
embrace
does
it?
kind of suck when
I'd
he
be
sucks.
damned.
When he sucks, and I'm like, fuck, bro.
How happy when he pieced up the Lakers and got 27 and 20? How happy?
Dude, the amount of tweets that were flying my way,
Yeah.
it's like I felt vindicated. It's
Yeah.
like, I've told y'all, and then he'll probably never do that ever again in his life.
All he
Ever.
needed was a platform.
That's all he needed.
Next thing we're going to do. Let's rank the top 10 young cores in the NBA as of today. So post-draft, keeping that in mind, who are the new best young cores?
Young cores. Okay.
Yes.
So is 25 and after like
Yes,
where the cutoff is?
If you're 26, you age out. So we'll count
Okay.
everybody 25 and below.
25 and below. Okay. So immediately we have to think about the Orlando Magic naturally, right?
Yeah, you got to think about the players that are already superstars at that age.
Yep.
So to me, that means Anthony Edwards and Victor Wembanyama probably have to be one of the
One
top
and
two
two.
spots.
Okay.
But they don't.
But it's not like a whole core. It's just
Yeah.
like them.
But
and
they're that good in my mind. So it's just
Exactly.
like the core doesn't
But I
matter
will say,
around
you know who the Spurs have deep young core plus superstar player now.
me. They're probably one.
They're probably one.
Yeah, I
Because
got the Spurs
OKC,
one.
Shea ages out.
Yeah,
for
Shea ages
OKC,
out.
But they still got Chet and Dub. So they're probably on this list.
They're
but
on this
Case
list.
and Wallace.
They're
Yeah.
just not
Yeah,
number
but you know
one.
Victor Wembanyama is a top 10
It's
player in the
probably
world.
Spurs.
Dylan Harper's number 2 pick. Carter Bryant's there.
Spurs one for sure.
Spurs one.
Stephon Castle. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go Spurs number 1, conversation starts at 2. There is still Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner.
Yep.
I think Jalen Suggs is still below 25.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of other young players that don't play and haven't panned out, but they're young and they're there.
See-
I think I'm.
Franz is on. He's on fraud watch right now. It's not. It's
Three-point
not
shot
looking
fraud
good.
watch.
He's great. The shot is just.
I feel
tough.
good with.
I'm
the,
still willing to give enough credit for having a great year, though, from what he did when Paolo was out.
Yeah, that is true.
So in terms of young core, like it's not about how good they fit together, it's just how good the young core is.
I think Anthony Edwards.
I
Is
mean,
the
that
top
I feel
10
like that kind of matters though.
Maybe. Sure. Yeah, I guess it should.
Yeah, it's a little bit because like we still have a question about how good this core is because they can't play together.
Okay, well, who's in the young core besides Anthony Edwards? Rob Dillingham,
Yeah,
Terrence
Bag,
Shannon Jr.
bag.
That's like it.
yeah, but Ant is that good already. He's a top 10 player.
So does that deserve number 2?
Two's kind of
I feel like that's rich, right?
Yeah,
number 2 of one person.
I think.
Do the Magic deserve 2? Are you in enough on Paolo Banchero? Has he proven enough to be number 2?
For me personally, probably not. But I'm racking my brain. I can look at teams now. It's not a competition.
Yeah, no, it's not a competition.
I feel like we're forgetting about somebody.
I do think that right now the standard should be, are you better than Chet and J-Dub? Because those two guys on any young core is like, okay, no, this is legit. So I still kind of want to go OKC at 2.
Because then you add Case and Wallace in there too. Nikola Topic.
I'm not mad at OKC.
The center,
they have a lot of depth.
Okay, let's go OKC too. If I see an opportunity to glaze OKC, I will not stop y'all. OKC too.
I think the Rockets need to be in the conversation too. Between Şengün, Amin Thompson, Jabari, Whitmore, Reed Shepard,
Tari.
We didn't say Amin Thompson.
Did I not say Amin?
Maybe it's the first name you said. My bad.
Yeah.
So OKC number 3.
OKC.
I mean Houston number 3.
2.
They belong at 2. Yeah.
So Houston number 3.
My bad 3.
I think Houston 3 makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
I guess that's when you get into the philosophical thing, like Bird in hand and Anthony Edwards versus a lot of picks still.
Mm-hmm.
I think the volume works for Houston more than it does for the Magic, just because most of those guys have shown things. The only one that hasn't really shown anything is Reed Shepard, and I feel better about that bet than I do like Jet Howard.
I still believe in Anthony Black though to do something as an NBA player
for sure.
So that puts them to 4 then.
Is it Magic time over Timberwolves?
Yeah, they have 2. They have 2 guys that you can rely on.
So are you prioritizing depth in this conversation?
A little bit, but also like when Paolo is also that good, and then Franz, like both of them, if they didn't get hurt, they would be all-stars. So I think having 2 potential all-stars, knowing that they're that good, that's okay. Putting up against just one star.
Okay.
I'm like I'm hitting straight.
Okay, so we'll go Orlando. Now, does Minnesota come in at 5?
Yes, they should. Now they definitely should.
Do we entertain the Hawks?
No, I think because if you entertain the Hawks, that means that you 100% believe Jalen Johnson will be an all-star, which I do, of course, but it's not 100% like certain. You know?
Okay.
I like Zach. I like Onyeka.
I'm not against the Wolves, but I will put a vote in for the 76ers to come up soon.
Ooh, that's a great one.
VJ, McCain. Quentin Grimes is still, I think, 25 years old. If he comes back in restricted free agency, it's got to be something. Maybe on this list, maybe not. But it's just a team that we haven't said just yet.
VJ moves me. I lean Anthony Edwards here now. I'm just saying Anthony Edwards to the team. I lean the Bulls going number 5 because Ant is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 6, I'm okay with 76ers.
Because I'm looking at some of these other teams that have young cores like Wizards.
When are we going to mention Detroit?
Oh,
yeah.
I also feel like that's a very shallow young core.
Asar, Cade, Ivy, Duren.
I don't feel like I know what to make of Ivy in this moment for this conversation. And Duren, he had a good, strong second half of the year. Still a little bit unsure. But this is the time when they come up.
Yeah,
this second half for sure.
So Pistons or Sixers?
Pistons because of Cade.
Exactly. Yeah, Cade's enough. Cade's just enough. Wait, is he better than Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so if we go Detroit 6, Philadelphia 7, 3 spots. Those are all the marquee ones now because like John Morant, I think is Jaren Jackson certainly aged out. I think John Morant might be 25.
He's out. I think I'd be comfortable.
But anyway, they don't have the depth anymore of young talent.
Yeah.
Portland has like everything but the guy.
Yeah.
But you still got guys. I think at 10 is fine because you're going to have like 16 teams still competing to win a title and like not rebuilding. I'm okay with Portland in
Portland's
this range.
In the conversation. Does Utah get there with Ace?
No.
So many misses.
They have a lot of. They don't have enough like gold stars on their platter to be like, ooh.
Okay,
I agree with that.
No.
Are we buying what Washington is cooking towards the end of this list? Maybe even at the top.
I really like Trey Johnson. Yeah. So that might be enough for me to say.
I really like Alex Sarr.
Yeah. So I think they end up on this list.
They got some guys. I think top 10.
Okay, so we're choosing between. Oh, does Charlotte get on this list? We have Con now. I know their PR's in the fucking toilet.
Has LaMelo aged out?
I don't think so.
Oh,
so we got LaMelo.
Maybe.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he's the same draft as Anthony Edwards.
Right.
So we got LaMelo. We got Brandon Miller. We got Con Knipple.
I think I'd rather be Washington.
Common Wally Wash? Oh, no, that's the Suns. My bad.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah, I think Washington deserves a spot over Charlotte. The Hornets for sure.
That seems reactionary to me. LaMelo is still an all-star level player. I'm not the biggest Brandon Miller guy compared to some people, but I think he's good. I think we like Con Knipple.
I just wish they hit on number 6 last year.
Yeah,
the Wizards just have so many bodies like Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, Bub Carrington,
Trey Johnson.
They just have so many bodies.
Okay, so you want to go Washington at 8?
Yeah, they just have so many bodies, and although LaMelo's an all-star, he's just been too up and down in my mind.
Is Tyrese Halliburton still 25?
Even if he is, it's just him.
He was a call from multiple.
Oh no, Nembhard's under 25 too.
I was thinking that, but I'm not sure now.
Yeah, Nembhard definitely is. Let me see.
Low key.
To prevent them from going on the list,
Hallie's 25.
He aged out. Well, you said 25 and under or 25?
25 and under.
Well, he's not playing next season. So
okay, we'll just take him off then.
Take him off.
Okay. I just had one I was going to say. No. Do we want to show any respect to Toronto Raptors? They do have Scotty Barnes.
They have Scotty Barnes and Colin Murray Boyles.
Nope.
Damn, they're playing role now. Damn.
Thank you. Yeah.
OJ Abaji. It's not a bad young core.
Nope.
What about the Chicago?
Nope.
Josh Giddey,
Snip his wire.
So the Dallas Mavericks have Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg might be.
And who else?
It might be enough.
Jaden
So the
Hardy.
Dallas Mavericks have Cooper Flagg.
And Jaden Hardy.
We can, if you want to put Dallas at like 10 because of Cooper Flagg, I guess that's fair, but they don't really have anybody else.
They don't. We got 2 spots left. Charlotte has a young core.
Charlotte, Portland, Dallas, Toronto are like the 4.
Charlotte and Portland. Okay, 4. Portland, you get 9. My gut says Portland and Charlotte are the last 2 in whatever order.
I'm not mad at that.
Does the Cavs move anyone? Darius Garland is 25.
Oh, and Evan Mobley's 25?
Evan Mobley's like 22. I mean, 23, 24.
I mean, under.
They deserve to be on the list because Evan Mobley.
I think they deserve to be 4. I think they deserve to be 4. I think we fucked up entirely.
Yeah, let's move everybody down. Put Cleveland at 4.
I'm so bad at ages. I just kind of assumed Darius Garland's 26 now.
Yeah.
So then Minnesota goes here.
Got to revamp the whole list. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we go back to this other side. Minnesota goes 6. Sheesh. And here we are. So we're at Spurs.
That's 10. Huh?
That's 10. So Spurs, OKC, Houston, Cleveland, Orlando is the top 5. Then Minnesota, Detroit, Philadelphia, Washington, Portland.
Dude, nobody's carrying more than Anthony Edwards. Right now.
I don't think this is bad.
Back-to-back conference finals to do that.
Yeah, it's fair.
Okay.
Shout out our list.
Shout out the youth.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but I'm not sure entirely. Oh, one thing I want to do real fast. We did this thing where we picked the best skill set across the entire league. So we said the best shooters, the best passer, the best defender. Let's do that with point guards. So I'm going to name an NBA skill. You tell me who's the best point guard in the NBA at that skill right now.
Cool.
3-point shooting.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. Start with the debate.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. Move on quick.
Debatable.
Trae Young. Rim finishing.
Shea.
Yeah, it's.
Is there a close second?
Once
upon a time, would be.
Once upon a time, it was Ja, but that's ship has sailed.
Oh,
Shea's laughed, obviously. Is that like just as easy as Curry?
Yeah.
Pretty much at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. On-ball defense.
Point guard play, huh?
So point guards, on-ball defenders. Jalen Suggs is up there.
Derek White, Drew Holiday is naturally up there too.
Yeah, maybe a couple years ago. Are we not counting Dyson Downs as a point guard?
He's a 2 guard.
He's
not
okay.
a 1.
Let me look up the all defensive team votes for this one.
Yeah. Dyson Daniels was a 1 like during the first 2 years of his career, but then they quickly realized he's a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so all defense votes. Got it pulled up. Was there any point guards here?
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
I feel like Jalen Suggs might be the point guard.
That's fair. He gets out there.
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Do we consider Alex Caruso a point guard?
No.
Really?
He's a point guard defender type guy, but he's not offensively.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is he listed as positionally?
Probably shooting guard.
Probably shooting guard.
Damn.
That is not a point guard. Even if he does guard one, that goes against the spirit of position.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
We can't do that.
Yeah, he doesn't initiate actions.
Okay, so if we're saying the player has to play point guard offensively, probably Jalen Suggs.
Shaden sucks.
Okay.
Interior defense. So one of these guards that block shots.
Kate.
Cade's up there. Shea blocks shots.
Shea blocks so many shots.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton blocks 3-pointers.
Yeah.
It's like led the league in 3-point blocks.
I didn't even
such a
know that.
random
That's
stat.
crazy.
Only you would know.
I didn't internalize that for a
That's
second.
my guy.
Yeah.
I gotta know.
But interior defense.
Hey guys, it's probably Shea.
Yeah, Shea's really good
Yeah,
on rotations. He's a good team defender. This is more of a team defender stat than anything.
For sure.
Third best player in the world, showing himself.
Okay.
Damn. 2 spots on this list already.
Yeah.
Passing.
Luka.
Trey comes to mind, of course.
Any Tyrese love?
Tyrese definitely belongs here, of course, too.
He can get that. I think ultimately, I'm still gonna land on Luka.
Yeah,
but if we're doing a top 3, that's probably the top 3.
Yeah. I think passing talent, like accuracy, where they can throw the ball, is Luka. Playmaking, like how they lead in offense, Tyrese Halliburton's probably the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fine with Luka. I'm not gonna argue anybody wants to put a Laker on my list.
Yeah. Luka.
Mid-range scoring.
Jeez.
This guy has 3 spots on the list.
Sorry, guys. He's the one right now.
Yeah, man.
You said 3rd best player in the world. Higher.
Wow.
2? You ever met 2?
Maybe. I don't know.
Sheesh.
I don't know. It's tough. 3 spots on the list is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Last thing we're going to do.
Is he 2?
It's tough. I feel obligated to put Giannis at 2.
Yeah.
But everything in my gut says Shea deserves 2.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm going to get yelled at if I say that. So I'm like, yeah, Giannis is probably still 2.
If you can't say it now, then you probably never will be able to say it. He just won MVP and Finals MVP.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if he doesn't deserve that after that, then we just we're being safe. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's this one on tap.
I forgot my rule. I'm just gonna. Oh, I can't do it on the thing. Is there like a gap where I can put this?
Maybe the face mask.
Yeah, put it in the face.
Try.
Okay.
I'll take it off.
Here's one of these. You're gonna adjust it to your head. We're gonna do this game that you guys have seen all over TikTok. We are gonna keep the helmet on. It's gonna be funny.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's gonna stay.
Let me make this as small as I can. And you see if you can put this over the helmet.
If you can lock it in here.
Put it on top.
Like this is.
Or like, do we have a 4th one? Combine it.
Wait, yeah, just put it alongside unstrapped.
Another one?
Yeah, just don't worry about strapping it. Like lay it on the top of the face mask.
Hold on. What if I put it through?
Yeah, put it through his ear holes.
Wait, my bad. Let me not dislocate your neck.
What the hell?
Yeah, this might not work.
Okay. Well,
wait. It's the other side I was tweaking on. All right. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody reach in, pick a player, trying to look at who it is, close your eyes. Everybody else can see it, so don't worry about it. Am I facing the right way?
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, and then
put mine on real quick.
find the hole.
Mom, I need you to put mine on.
All right.
Oh, a couple of these are I set up. Okay, pick a player, trying to look at it. I've never seen you without the hat with the do-rag on the show. Just raw do.
Raw do is disgusting.
Raw do.
Here you go.
With the rag.
Right way?
Yeah, you got the rag out. All right, you guys know how this game works. We all have a player on our head. We have to see who can guess the player first.
Is mine like straight?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
You can go first. Ask your question.
Is my player a guard?
He's not a guard.
No. Is my player an all-star?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a current all-star?
You already asked.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Does my player play today?
He does play today.
Mm.
Is my player a current Hall of Famer or will be a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my player active?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did my player's team, primary team if he got traded, but did my player's team make the playoffs last year?
No.
No. Okay. Does my player have an all-star to his name?
He does not.
Ooh.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Is my player considered an elite scorer?
Yes.
Is my player big?
He's
Yes.
large.
Okay.
Is
Wide load.
my player a starter?
A starter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Has my player ever won a championship?
He has.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Is my player also an elite passer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even remember what I asked already.
You asked him if he's large. I said he's a wide load.
Did I ask if he was active already? I forget.
Yeah,
You did. That's the first thing you asked, I believe. Oh, no, you asked if he's a guard.
Is my player on a playoff team?
No.
No.
Not from last year.
Got it.
My guy a bucket.
I would not say that.
I know. I wouldn't say that.
No.
It's not how you characterize him.
I don't know.
Not that he
Yeah.
can't score, but I wouldn't call him a bucket.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You wouldn't call him a bucket. I'll say that.
I wouldn't.
You damn sure wouldn't call him a
Okay,
bucket.
gotcha.
Okay. Has my player, so he's won a championship,
Correct.
hasn't been an all-star.
Nope.
So he's somewhat of a role player, bro. All right. I forget. Did I ask if you played today? I think I did. Don't remember the answer. I'm not going to use the same question twice.
I'm out there
Okay.
no lifelines.
Is this Fred VanVleet?
That is not Fred
Damn.
VanVleet. Interesting guess. I'm gonna just throw out the obvious guess. Elite. Is this LeBron James?
No.
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 Fuck.
Is my player currently a free agent?
No.
Is my player a guard?
Yes.
Yeah. Is my player bald?
No.
No.
Damn.
Is my player above 6'5"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Above 6'5". Okay.
Is my player primarily known for his defense?
Not primarily.
Okay.
Like not on some Gobert shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is my player in the East?
No.
Does my player do media?
No.
No.
Not
No,
any sort. Okay.
Maybe some TikTok here or there if that counts.
Is this Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
Damn.
Good Doncic.
I'm so lucky he was an elite passer and an elite scorer.
Yeah.
Like, that's so easy.
You narrowed it down super fast.
There's like 5 players.
Okay.
Who comes in second?
Yeah. Oh, do we keep going?
You can, or we can restart. I don't care.
It's up to y'all.
I'll just take a guess.
Take
One
a guess.
guess.
Walker
One guess.
Kessler.
Not Walker Kessler. Joel Embiid.
Oh, fuck.
You're never gonna get yours.
I'm not gonna get mine. I can't. I'm giving up.
John Stockton.
Damn.
Every time
I was never gonna get
I
mine.
try not to laugh.
Yeah.
I was never gonna
Is
get
he a bucket?
Is this guy Richard Jefferson?
That's
No.
Jonathan Kuminga.
I never asked if he was active.
You did, but you like, you asked is he an all-star? Then after that, you were like current all-star. You tried to mix it in, and we were like, no.
Well, no. Whenever I asked that, I was trying to bake in like if he made an All-Star team like last year, but not this year.
Okay.
Not like active. Yeah.
Okay, let's go another round. Let's do at least one more.
Oh, I think did it break?
No,
you're good.
Okay.
It's fucked up because I always win this, and people think I'm cheating, and y'all just are not giving them a reason to not think I'm cheating.
Oh, man.
Okay, close my eyes. Am I holding this the right way?
Yep.
Here you go. It's so hard to find this little slit.
Let me get mine. Let me get mine.
Let me get yours.
Yes, please.
Man, I got lucky
Wait,
as
can you
hell.
put
I
it
have one of the most famous players in the
Put it
league.
Yeah, can you put it on, please?
All right, bet.
Needs assistance. Here you go. I just knocked it
Like,
over.
bro, I'm wearing a helmet. Like,
All right, there
Yeah,
you go.
you're good.
Let me put mine out real quick, and then let me assist you for a second.
It's like an airplane. You got to assist yourself first. Yeah. Okay. Interesting players this time.
Okay.
You look so fucking stupid.
Oh, shit, mine came off.
Damn.
I don't know who this is, though. I
You're
have
good.
no idea.
Okay. Big ass head. Okay, I guess I'll go first since I won.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to ask basic questions. Does my player wear a number below 25?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Is my player black?
Yes.
Yes.
Get real basic.
You narrowed it down.
I got to fix my mistakes from last time. Is my player active?
Yes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Is my player active?
He is. Is my player active?
Yes.
Yes. Fuck. Is my player active?
No.
Damn. Fuck, man.
You'd almost rather be active.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Does my player, is his team's primary jersey red?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Wait. Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I didn't know it was that.
Is that player guard?
No. My player wears below 25. He's an active player. I want to throw a shot out there. Again, if I get it right, I'm not going to duck the cheating allegations. For some reason, my gut says, is it Anthony Davis?
No.
Damn it.
Damn. Okay. Does my player have an MVP to his name?
No.
Okay.
Is my player a good defender?
Yeah, I would say so.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's not a bad defender.
Yeah.
He's not known as a bad defender.
Is my player big again?
He's large.
Okay.
Is my player big?
No.
Small. Nice.
Okay. Does my player have a championship on his resume?
He does.
Okay.
Is my player a champion?
He is.
Yes. Is my player a champion?
He is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is my player a champion?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's go. All we do is win.
Yeah. Okay. Was my player drafted in the 2000s up?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this Andrew Wiggins?
No. That's a solid guess.
Yeah. Solid guess.
Not that you're almost right, but I like that.
Is my guy an all-star?
No. Did I ask if he's currently playing?
I don't know.
I
You
guess
tell
you
me.
guys can't tell me. Is my guy a current all-star?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is my guy bald? I gotta have a bald
No.
guy.
No.
Damn.
No.
What the fuck?
Is my guy a front court player?
Yes.
I got a small 25 and below number current All-Star.
I don't remember any of my hints.
There's multiple games, bro.
Jeez. Is my guy...
Yeah, you start to lose track.
Does my guy play for an Eastern Conference team?
No. Do I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
No.
Damn.
Okay. Does my guy play... Is he a guard?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Does my guy play for an Eastern Conference team?
Yes.
My guy's a champion, number 25 and below. He's a guard.
Is my guy a starter?
Yes. Is my guy a good shooter?
Yeah.
Champion, good shooter, number 25 and below. I'm flummoxed.
Okay. Okay, is my guy a Hall of Famer?
He is.
Okay, he's one of the greatest of all time, apparently.
Did my player play on a top 4 seed this year?
He did.
Yes, he did. Dude, I got nothing.
My guy's a current All-Star?
Yeah.
How many All-Star guards right now have a championship?
Is my guy black?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's like 4% of the league. Hold on, I'm on to something.
Damn. Champion guard, currently an All-Star, you said? So this year he was an All-Star. How many championship guards are currently an All-Star? It's not Jamal Murray. It's not Steph Curry. I said below 25 number. There's nobody on the Lakers. There's nobody on the Celtics. What the hell, man? Is my player black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to buy time, man. I need to go kill shit.
Okay. Is my player big?
No.
What the fuck?
You said he a big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not a big.
All right.
I'm so mad because I'm going through the top 4 seeds and I forgot. I know I asked if he was in the Eastern Conference. I forgot what y'all said. So I'm going to ask it again.
Okay.
But we're going to switch up other conference. Does this guy play in the Western Conference?
No.
So he is.
Pointless switch up. It's the same question.
Is my guy Chet?
He is Chet. I feel like y'all lying to me. This doesn't make sense. I feel like one thing I misconstrued.
Well,
what's your last shot in the dark?
You misunderstood one of the questions.
I did?
You said, is he a big? We said, no. You said guard.
You said, ooh, he's small.
Yeah, he's not small. He's not a big either, though.
Oh, I said, is he big? I don't think I said a big. But okay, I meant like size, but that was a dumb.
I mean, he's big compared to us.
So it's a wing.
It is a wing.
So LeBron James.
No.
Who I got?
Yeah.
Okay.
My guy's a wing. From what I was able to gather, is this T-Mac?
No.
Damn.
When you said Chet and you asked, is he black? And I saw Donovan's eyes.
Yeah.
It was, depending on who you ask. You ask him.
Exactly.
Shit gets different.
Was it D-Mitch?
Nope. Nah. Kristaps Porzingis.
The other elite white.
Wait, y'all said...
That's a Hawk. Yeah. That's a Hawk. The red jersey.
That's all. Yeah, you should have caught on when I stumbled when
they
asked me.
Time out.
Yeah.
But if I time out. Now we gotta take this off. We gotta take this off because if you answered that and you say that his primary jersey is red, and I say is the team that he played for were they a top 4 seed?
You said last year when you asked that. You said we were a top 4 seed last year.
Okay, so then,
when you answered the jersey, you said is his primary jersey red? You didn't say last year.
Yeah.
You see, we just answered correctly.
Yeah.
That's not correct.
And with that being said, that's the end of this podcast.
It's not correct.
If you're still here, comment, should Donovan be mad at us? Did he get hoed? Let me know. Did we fuck over Donovan?
It's house call season.
If you're still here, check out House Call. Kenny, appreciate you coming on in person for the first time.
Yes, sir.
It was a great time, man.
Yeah, had a blast, man.
Thank you.
Check out my other channel, House Call. In the description.
Damn, how many shows this man got? Does he own the Deep 3 too?
Are we industry plans?
Yeah.